Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
When you're a kid and it feels like no one is in your corner, it's a pretty tough place to be. And let's not forget the spikes in depression and anxiety from the pandemic. That's where Teammates can help. When kids have mentors through Teammates, they're more likely to feel engaged in school and more hopeful for the future. Just by simply being there, mentors can make students feel confident in their own skin, even when everything else seems to go wrong. Become a mentor and be there for a student by going to teammates.org. A message from JTech Construction, proud supporter of Teammates Mentoring.
Sundays with the Omaha Storm Chasers are packed with fun for the entire family. Brought to you by Nebraska Medicine. Bring the family out, including your pups, for Bark in the Park every Sunday. Want to receive a free berm ticket? Bring 3 cans of non-perishable food items to the Warner Park box office to receive a free ticket courtesy of Hy-Vee. Wrap up the day with Kids Run the Bases. For full details or to pre-register your pup, visit OmahaStormChasers.com.
Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm with family.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Oh my goodness, is it going to be a busy weekend?
What? What happened?
What happened? It's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
The Derby is not this weekend. Don't forget about
the
that.
The NBA playoffs, for some reason, has virtually no games this week.
That's not true. There's a game.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Da-da-da.
I said virtually no games.
That's true.
There's one tonight, and then there's one on
2 on Sunday. If we get the if necessary, we get 2 on Sunday.
But nothing on Saturday.
Nothing on. It's like the College World Series. No games. No games.
Yeah. Kind of a little scheduling faux pas there, but hey, it happens. Welcome, everybody, to the program on a cloudy and soon-to-be stormy Friday.
You know why they did it? You know why the NBA acquiesced tomorrow?
No.
O'Shawn Mathis. They did not want to compete with O'Shawn Mathis.
Why didn't they plan on having him announce at halftime of the Mavs game?
They definitely could have done that. Whoa, unrelated. Nick, we need a sports flash. This is an actual sports flash. This is a real one.
Better be good.
Sports flash.
Time for an Unsportsmanlike Conduct Sports Flash update.
Sports flash.
From the Sports Flash Sports Desk. I don't like sports flashes to start the
I'm sorry. From soon-to-be friend of the program, Jeff Passan, if he ever responds to the text message from Mike Farron.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Dodgers starter Trevor Bauer has received a
sports flash.
2-year suspension from Major League Baseball.
So
sports flash.
He can't play, even though he's technically off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Sports flash.
2 years. Count them with me.
Wow.
Sports flash.
1,
2.
Sports flash.
2. There you go.
So,
that was a sports flash, right? Was that worthy?
Oh, yeah, that's worthy.
Baseball.
You sound so disappointed, John.
He's a big Trevor Bauer guy.
Yeah, right. Big Trevor Bauer guy. I liked what he did in the 2016 World Series.
Trevi Bows.
What happened? What did he do in the 2016?
He lost.
Oh, is he back with the Guardians? formerly known as the Indians back in 2016.
Something like
I
that.
honestly forgot about that. Wow, there you go. Wow, so there were two bad pitchers in terms of as humans in that series. Him and then your franchise, Aroldis Chapman. Remember Aroldis Chapman?
Yeah, I do.
People forget.
He saved a game for us.
He almost blew the series, but yes, he did indeed save a game.
So
there you go. Baseball.
Those things.
All right, back to football.
What do you mean back to football? We never even got on to football. What are you talking
we
about?
owe Sean Mathis for like 10 seconds.
Well, that's not really football.
All
That's
right,
just,
we'll dive on
It's
in.
just some rando guy who's about to make a whole lot of money.
What
Straight
if
cash, homie?
What if O'Shawn Mathis
Yeah.
just jumped straight to the NBA draft? Nobody knew until last night.
Well, he's a football player, so that would be quite the move to jump into the NBA draft.
Or the NFL.
NFL
You know what I
draft?
mean? Because that was last night.
Yeah. Now, it's an interesting question that you posed there, Nick, because he is a 4-year college athlete already. 4-year college athlete. But he is not going to the pros. Very interesting. Many are saying.
Yeah, it's all that screwy, you know what, that was going down with. I don't even remember what am I?
Gary Patterson,
Yeah,
TCU.
well, all of that. Yeah,
Well, I was just saying it's interesting. He's already been in college for 4 years, and he's still
right.
not going
But
to
it's
the pros.
it's the screwy COVID year, which in hindsight now looks like one of the dumbest things that they ever did. But hey, get in line, dumb ideas, NCAA.
Well, yeah, but he still has 2 years left.
I know. But I was looking
No, 1
back
year
at.
left, never mind.
Yeah, well, Trevor Bauer lost 2 games in the World Series.
I was wondering what was going on over there. I saw a little baseball reference happening. 2 years.
Revy bows.
Enjoy that suspension there, Trevor.
Yeah.
By the way, he is on this day, 31 years, 102 days old. So by the time he's done, he'll be a 33-year-old man now.
That's how old I am.
How effective will he be? And will anyone still have him? And I wonder what this does to his contract.
Yeah, and also
because he signed for 2 years. Well, he signed through this year, so the contract expires. So he will truly be a free bird when this suspension is over.
According to Passon, by the way, Bauer says he is appealing his 2-year suspension. There you go. So yeah, he will appeal his suspension.
Yeah, he just put out a tweet, which wow, I don't understand.
What
kind of a weird little Trevor little handle he's got there. I don't know what that is, but he says, in the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. I am appealing this action and expect to prevail, as we have throughout this process. My representatives and I respect the confidentiality of the proceedings.
So here's my question, kind of going along the lines of what you just said. You're suspended for 2 years, and let's just say that his appeal, he loses his appeal, so he's still suspended for 2 years. Now, I don't know how long that appeal process will take, but let's say it happens pretty quickly. What are you doing training-wise? Because are you just constantly training, or I mean, you probably take a little time off, right?
Well, I'm sure, because he hasn't pitched for almost a full year now.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I'm sure he's keeping himself in somewhat shape, but as far as like pitching shape, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea if he's working out with a trainer.
Because just so far down the road. Yeah.
Well, either way, no matter what happens, it's going to be a while before we see Bauer suspended or see Bauer back.
Yes.
If at all. Because again,
you
got to figure, because what do the Dodgers do? Let's say they don't suspend him. Do the Dodgers necessarily want him at this point? And then, if they don't, his trade value is virtually nothing. So I don't know.
His handle is just his name in Japanese.
If
by
you're,
the way.
oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's kanji for his name.
I see. So Trevor Bauer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his handle is an @Bauer outage.
No, I love that though. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, he had a Bauer outage during the 2016 World Series.
Heyo.
Good times, very good times indeed. So coming up on the program today, Baz, our Friday friend at 3:15. Will there be Husker baseball this afternoon with the threat of weather?
Threat of weather.
Big
Friday events, folks.
They did move the game up so they could try to get it in before the proverbial poop hits the fan.
Yeah, more importantly, will Baz hook us up with a BTN Plus login so we can watch the game in studio?
It would be nice.
It would indeed.
Kent Wogamat, we will review The Batman.
The Batman. And I got a movie. It's my turn to pick again just because of the way the calendar works.
Movie hog.
I'm going to the 70s. We're going back in time. Got to get back in time. You'll love it.
Will I?
Oh, is that Bee Gees movie?
No, it is not the Bee Gees movie.
Damn it.
I don't know if you'll like. I assume so. I assume
no
that you
idea.
will like this movie.
Well,
I haven't
we'll
told
find
anybody what it is.
We'll find out.
Mhm.
Kent Wogamat coming up. And Michael Severe.
What?
You know, this is his favorite time of the year,
It is.
the NFL draft.
Hell
And-
yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Let's talk to someone who's really passionate about this. And I'd be curious to hear what he thought about what was a wild first day
Wild and wacky.
of the NFL draft
Wacky.
and done so with virtually no quarterbacks. Just one quarterback came off the board.
I'm so mad at myself for not doing. In what you say, we had who's going to be first taken, and I almost went with Kenny Pickett. Mad at myself for not going with Kenny Pickett. Very sad. Very sad.
Well, it happens. Don't worry about it.
Indeed.
Also, there's some new stuff. We did rename the NIL today. It is
What?
now the pay for play today.
Oh, because it does sound better.
Because
No
it
offense.
well
Rolls off the tongue.
and
and it's more truthful.
it's 100% more truthful.
Mhm. We want to be as accurate as possible. Program.
We're all about the accuracy.
We report. You decide.
Big commit today for Creighton basketball.
Oh wow, a
Um,
commit.
Did they get O'Shawn Mathis?
Yes,
Wow, they're
Yes.
bringing
the
back
Creighton
football.
Blue Jays have announced O'Shawn Mathis.
Actually buried the lead. They're bringing back football, but at first they were like, "Hey, we have O'Shawn Mathis now."
O'Shawn Mathis has decided he's going
playing all
to play
positions.
for Creighton.
Nice.
And a whole lot more. 402-951-1620. That's the number to get in on the equitable. Oh, actually, that's not the equitable banking box. We really need a sponsor for this hotline. We used to have a sponsor for the hotline. We really need a sponsor for the hotline because it's
throwing
just,
a certain part of this building under the bus.
no, I'm not.
as we
No, I'm
speak?
not throwing anybody on their bus. I'm just saying we really need a
Let's
sponsor
just
for the
give it up.
hotline.
Let's give
Yeah,
it a
what
name.
happened? We used to do that. We just used to give it a name.
Yeah, you
Can
gave
be
it a fake name every day. What if we gave it one fake name, the O'Shawn Mathis Hotline, and we just kept it that
We'll
way?
call it the Bagman Hotline.
Boom. Perfect. That's fine.
Bagman Hotline. 402-951-1620.
I love it.
The other Bagman is Old Man Doug. He's got money bags over there at the Equitable Bank. Well, I mean, they probably
That's
do
a good
have
question
some
for Doug.
money
Is your
bags.
money in bags?
Well, I mean,
Behind the
when
bag.
they
Is it in a 1930s bank?
That's what I want to
well,
know.
when they
I'm gonna
transfer,
tweet
Watch
at him.
out!
when
It's a
they
man in a
transfer-
suit with a Tommy gun.
when the mint transfers new coin, it comes in a bag.
Sure.
I'm sure there's some money bags.
I
We
thought
used to
they
have-
came in armored cars.
well, no, but the money itself is in a bag,
I just tweeted at him on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter
which
feed.
is at USC 1620.
We'll find out the answer. Is your money in bags?
But
The important questions.
something that broke late in the and I say broke, I mean, we kind of found it by accident because Josh was just snooping around on the FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code 1620.
Promo code 1620.
The expectations.
Oh, baby. Here we go.
Where's the old hype monster? He's been sleeping. He's been sleeping. Where did he go? He was used to be on this page. Why is he on the page?
I thought we were done with him.
Nick,
No,
we are
we
never
are
done
never-
with the hype
Come
monster.
on. You may have grown up in Iowa.
Never.
You may have grown up in Iowa, but even you know that the hype monster around these parts never sleeps.
They don't let me forget.
Well, we will definitely not let you forget now.
The hype monster is
Oh, baby.
alive and well. We'll explain and have more as we continue here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Glad to have you on this Friday. We'll also keep you abreast to the latest weather conditions. Right now, it's just cloudy and muggy.
It is indeed cloudy and muggy.
It got a little rainy last night.
There was a little mist on my. Oh yeah, last night for sure. There was a little mist on my windshield as I drove into the office today. A little mist.
Poor Wrigley got stuck behind the chair because she was scared of the thunder.
Oh, thunder!
And I
Lightning
walk
and
out
the
to the living
thunder.
room, and the wife has one of
My
those a
wife.
big chair up against the
Oh,
wall
nice
with
for her.
her with the footstool,
Ottoman.
and
Unlike the Empire.
and all I saw was the very top of her head and the tail sticking up from behind the chair. I'm like, what is she doing back there? And the wife was sitting in the other chair and said, "Oh, she's stuck."
Oh no!
So I had to pull the chair out,
Oh.
and she backed out. She backed that ass up. She
Beep.
got out of there. But
Beep.
yeah, she was all freaked out because of the. Well, she's been freaked out because of the wind.
Mm.
Anytime the wind blows now, she is like, because
She's
something.
like Rory.
Something must have went haywire one of these days in the last winter.
Yeah.
The older dogs
blowing
get,
stuff.
the more they hate wind.
Yeah, they hate wind and
Sounds
hate
like humans.
thunder. So yeah, she was stuck behind the chair for a little bit, but she's all good now. Though we're probably planning on, in giving her a little extra something in her treat tonight to keep her calm.
Oh, Delta 8, nice. Good on
Wrigley's
you,
gonna
John.
Party.
Hell yeah.
No, not party.
Put on some Jimi Hendrix.
It'll be.
I remember the first time I saw a dog
brought
on
down.
one of those
downers, not uppers.
doggy drugs, because it was at one of my friend's house and there was going to be a lot of people over there with kids.
Yeah.
This dog was sitting in one of the chairs, just zonked. It was one of the funniest visuals that I can honestly ever remember. Just
It kept
that
putting
dog,
peanut butter on Doritos.
that dog, yeah, right. Can I get some Mountain Dew, brah? That dog was having a great time.
We'll also keep you up to date on the baseball. Creighton's already underway against Xavier, up 2-0 in the top of the first, and Nebraska will be first pitching against Iowa.
Whoa!
In an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, baseball.
Go Hawks.
They got a guy on their team whose nickname is Meat Patty.
Amazing.
That's not as good as Thicky Mantle.
Thicky Mantle's really good.
Thicky Mantle's perfect.
That's the best one so far. But that Meat Patty's pretty solid.
Meat Patty.
That sounds like an old school nickname.
And it really
Meat Patty here.
It has nothing to do with the fact that he's like a large person. It has to do with the
Oh,
fact
it's one of those
that-
reverse nicknames.
No, it's one
It's
of the,
tiny.
his teammate. His teammate after he got a haircut one day, the young man's teammate, who was his roommate, saw it. Says, "It looks like there's a meat patty on your head."
That's a funny nickname.
And the nickname stuck.
That's a funny nickname.
You think he hates that roommate?
No, he actually likes the nickname now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing about baseball. You get a cool nickname or a funny nickname, and
Baseball
it
locker
sticks,
rooms, I would say, are the weirdest locker rooms of all the locker rooms.
Yeah.
You hear stories out of baseball locker rooms, and it's like, you guys are weird. Very weird.
I've seen what they do on the benches. I like those videos.
Yeah, you should see what they do in the lockers, Nick. Sometimes they pour paint thinner into things. It's very odd.
I don't think they go that far.
Very odd. Very odd.
All right, so we'll be back, and the hype monster roars. More on that as we continue on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
JR going to school, playing golf, and wearing Lululemon. They don't have any pants for fat people.
Like, what kind of flat fronts are these? Do you people not have curves? Like, where are you from? Oh, that's right. This isn't.
They should put a sign out on the door that says, you must be 180 pounds or less to get in.
Sharp and Benning in the morning. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike Conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Slight chance of a morning shower Friday, otherwise mostly cloudy and breezy. Highs topping out in the mid-60s. Strong to severe storms are likely in the metro after 7 p.m. Some of those could produce large hail, damage, and wind gusts, and possibly an isolated tornado as well. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
We know you can't get enough of your favorite flavors. Luckily, Baker's free pickup makes it easy to grab what you need without any surprise fees. Whether it's extra buns for the barbecue or those chips you just can't quit, start your cart with the Baker's app. Baker's, fresh for everyone. $35 order minimum. Restrictions may apply. Subject to availability.
It's the big $10 sale. So mix and match and get 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 for $10 with your card. So many great deals. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Pandemic-impacted homeowners may be at risk of losing their homes, which is why the state of Nebraska is providing relief through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $30,000 in assistance for past due mortgage payments, past due real estate taxes, HOA dues, and homeowners or flood insurance. Funds will be distributed until they run out, and they do not need to be paid back. View qualifications and apply today at nebraskahaf.com. That's nebraskahaf.com.
Marvin Windows has long been known for their lasting value and beauty. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is Omaha's first authorized Marvin Windows replacement contractor. For a free estimate, call Carp's Complete Home Exteriors or visit carpsomaha.com.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to genesishealthclubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just one day left.
Hi, this is Dave Austed from Austed's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Austed's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Austed's.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
I'm a fan of Kook fans. John Bishop here for Kook fans.
Who doesn't like Kook? On 1620 The Zone.
Well, I couldn't tell if we were doing a very good job of hiding what we already knew.
Oh, about King?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
But when we were talking with Ravi Lula, but it was official today, Creighton signs Frederick King, the four-star center from the Bahamas, who had visited Creighton last week, or no, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and then he visited BYU, also Utah and Georgia Tech. Recruit number 133, according to the 24/7 rankings. So he'll join Ben Stoltzberg and Jason Green of Omaha as the incoming four-year players to Creighton. And he'll serve a pretty important role right out of the jump because Jays were looking for a backup five for Ryan Kalkbrenner, and he will fit into that role like a glove. Coach Mack, in a statement, made mention that Frederick is versatile, athletic. His motor and competitive spirit will allow for an immediate impact on our program. So good pickup there for the Jays as they wrap up that recruiting class. Or did they? Depends on the whole transfer portal and what's going to happen on that front. But so good news for the Jays today. I saw that there is one person out there who has predicted O'Shawn Mathis.
Oh, here we go.
To Nebraska.
Here we go.
This came in late last night from On3 Texas recruiting analyst Jerry Hamilton. He entered a prediction. He's the only person who has entered a prediction.
Put your name on it, folks.
Of because that's the thing. 24/7 calls it the crystal
ball.
ball.
What do they call it over there?
It's just a prediction.
We need to make one.
They don't. Oh, no, they have the
Sportsman-
recruiting prediction machine.
Boring.
That's what they have, the recruiting
Come up
prediction
with a
machine.
better name.
Oh, that's a good name.
No, it's just too basic.
At least use the word contraption.
Contraption. I don't know if I'd do that.
Well,
either.
anyway,
Snazzy.
Mr. Hamilton, who covers recruiting for Texas, put in a prediction last night for Nebraska to get O'Shawn Mathis. Though it does include a confidence meter.
I love this, by the way. This is a fun idea.
I do like this. I do like this. Confidence meter is at 55%.
So essentially saying it's 50-50, but he's putting in Nebraska just in case.
A slight lean.
So
slight lean.
Before the show today, I decided to hop on the old Horns 24/7 to see what their folks were saying, including
Horns. Did you the way you said
Horns.
that? The way that you said that, it was almost like you wanted to add a silent W to the beginning. Horns.
No, Horns 24/7.
See, you did it again.
It's just how I speak.
It almost sounds
Horns.
It almost sounds like you're going.
See,
horns.
now I'm gonna focus. Horns. How's that? See, it sounds so much more weak. Horns. Horns.
Horns.
I was on the Texas 24/7 site.
Which is called what?
Horns. 24/7. Horns down. Jeff Howe was one of the writers there. But first of all, before I get to what he said.
On what site?
Stop it. The posting from the Texas faithful, it was like I was reading a Nebraska message board. Fatalistic. You had the positive people. Hey, don't judge. It's not until tomorrow. You had the negative folks. It was great. College football fans are the best. Anyway, Jeff Howe, who covers Texas, the Longhorns, for Horns 24/7. So somebody asked him about TCU buzz. Is there TCU? Could he return to TCU? Jeff said,
that would be an interesting one.
That would be amazing. He says, I don't know where the TCU buzz has come from, but I was told this week the TCU isn't going to be the pick for Mathis, and the Horned Frogs aren't pushing. I was told a couple of days ago that Nebraska felt very, very confident. And then somebody asked him, how does this happen? He visited us back-to-back weeks after visiting Nebraska. Makes no sense. Are you ready, John, for a response from Jeff Howe that will once again show us that we are in a new era of recruiting? Are you ready?
No, I have a feeling. I know what's coming.
Jeff Howe writes, I had one Nebraska source tell me that if Nebraska is the pick, expect it to be almost totally NIL driven, lots of money. This is crazy. Dogs are hanging out with cats. We're in the upside down. Nebraska is going to win a recruiting battle because they're the ones paying a lot of money. Again, I know what world we are now living in. It was just weird to see that in print. Oh, man. Well, of course he went to Nebraska. They're offering more money. No one's ever said that ever. I've never heard somebody be like, oh, Nebraska.
Well,
Nebraska competing with Texas.
They have, but it's just been in quiet company. It hasn't been as much out in the open as it is now.
Yeah.
If it is strictly about the NIL, man, see, you gotta. I don't want to pull a sip here. You gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful here.
Because
RIP. He's still alive.
You still have to factor in, because I'm guessing the reason Mathis is transferring is he wants to further showcase his talents so that he can make big money in the NFL. Not that $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in 1 year isn't big money, but it's a one-time deal, right? One year, and that's great. But if he does fancy himself as an NFL player, and he just saw a bunch of his fellow college football playing brethren drafted last night, and they're going to sign some nice big fat 7-figure contracts, maybe sometimes 8-figure contracts. So it's gotta. So when you hear things like that about it's just going to be an NIL thing, or what was the exact phrase on there? That it's
let's see here.
It's strictly an NIL thing.
Expected to be almost totally NIL driven, lots of money.
NIL driven. Okay. See, and I don't. I mean, I get where that person is coming from,
Jeff Howe.
But it has to. I mean, he's also got to look out for: is this going to be best for me?
Okay. Well,
is this going to be best for me in terms of developing my skills and showing off my talents, so that next year I can hear my name called or be part of some kind of a big trade on Thursday night of the NFL.
Now, that's a great point. The last edge rusher for Nebraska to make it into the NFL draft was Randy Gregory
of your Denver Broncos.
That was 7 years ago.
Right.
7 years ago. The last Texas edge rusher or defensive end to get drafted was last year.
Now that's,
different staff. Both of these instances are different staffs. Though I would say Sark, 1 year at Texas, this coaching staff, 4 years at Nebraska. So I understand entirely what you are saying, because look, it's always sour grapes, right? If your team loses out on the good player, in the old days you were saying they're cheating. Now you just say, oh, they're offering more name, image, likeness. It's the same conversation, just different vocabulary. But we've always been saying this. But if you want to lean into, well, maybe he thinks he can get to the NFL better here. I mean, there is a lack of evidence in that regard. I would say this, though, arguing against myself. This conference, a better league in terms of preparing you, I think, for the NFL than the Big 12. No first-round draft picks last night for the Big 12.
Right.
Now, is this the school to do so? That's a valid question. But this is a better conference. Definitely.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And I think that stuff can kind of be overblown sometimes. But I do think that, especially right now, I think the Big Ten's a better league. They just had a guy go.
But Josh, I think you gotta consider schedule. Who are you going to play? Who are you going to be putting yourself up against? Right.
Great point, because they're playing Bama in week 2.
Yeah.
Bama in week 2.
So,
Nebraska
because
played Oklahoma,
remember,
though.
you're putting stuff out there on film.
Mhm.
And so the scouts are going to want to see, hey, this dude did this, but look at who he was doing it against.
Mhm.
It's one thing if you do it against an Alabama or an Oklahoma. It's another thing.
And Oregon.
It's another thing if you do it against Chattanooga or North Dakota State.
Definitely.
So, yeah, there's a lot of different things to consider here. A lot of different things to consider. That said, I mean, NIL can certainly bump you over the edge, bump you over the top, and give you just a little bit more. But we'll get into this a little bit later because there's another story out there regarding NIL that's rather fascinating when it comes to decisions and how they're being made and how it's being leveraged. And I just hope that whether it's a transfer portal person or a high school recruit or wherever, that people are getting good advice. And that they're not just making the decision based on, well, I can get 6 figures of NIL here versus 5 figures.
Yeah, sadly, there are always going to be, hangers on.
Predators.
Yeah, so I'm certainly concerned about that. Happer of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone
I've heard
says
of him.
Horse 24/7 has message boards too. I would love to know their insiders. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get back to the Twitter machine. Mike says, we were talking about names for the predictors. You got the crystal ball and you have whatever their boring was on 3, the predictor. Mike says, I like the Cruton Contraption Confidence Calculator.
I also like that a lot.
That's pretty good. That's good alliteration is what they call that.
Big fan of alliteration.
Cruton Contraption Confidence Calculator. That could be ours on 1620 The Zone.
That's a lot to say.
That is, the 4 C's.
It's a little out there, a little long, a little too much.
I liked it, Mike. Sorry that John didn't.
It's not bad. It's just not great.
Sorry that John's raining on your parade, Mike.
Not raining on
it's
anyone's.
raining outside.
It's
Like
not-
it will be
it's-
raining
it's
on a
not
parade
raining
later
right now.
tonight.
It's not raining right now.
Okay.
Not raining right now.
Not yet, at least.
Well, coming up, the NFL draft last night.
Oh, boy.
Wildly entertaining.
It actually was.
Considering that there wasn't a lot of quarterbacks or anything like that taken. Obviously, there was a run on receivers, but wildly entertaining for all the trades. We thought the trading was done.
Ha! Folks!
Wrong about that. All coming up next on 1620 The Zone. But my friends, ED Meds have proven to work very well to fix erectile dysfunction. But remember, it's always a temporary fix. It's just for that night. And you always have to time the taking of the pill to when you want to be active. Well, would you like to fix that so you're no longer dependent on medications, which also come with side effects? That's where Brookside and the advanced wave technology comes in. This non-invasive, non-surgical treatment has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and regrow blood vessels. It improves blood flow. It restores normal function, and you're no longer dependent on the pill. And right now, if you call Brookside at 402-671-7777 and tell them you heard this spot on The Zone, you can get a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound. Plus, they'll throw in a little extra special something that is guaranteed to work in the bedroom. So, call today. Brookside, 402-671-7777 for Brookside Medical Clinic.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover. Or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Baseball, music, food, and entertainment. It's unlimited fun for all ages at Omaha Storm Chasers games. For the kids, there's the Centris Family Fun Zone. For adults, there's the Bud Light Downdraft Bar and drink specials. And on Saturdays, there's live music and concerts for everyone. There's no better way to spend a summer day than with your Chasers family. Get your tickets today at omahastormchasers.com.
Omaha Storm Chasers family. Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm with family.
Now, Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. On 1620, The Zone.
8 different teams with multiple picks in the first round, trades up and down the board, wide receivers flying from one side of the country to the other. It was an NFL draft first round to remember last night. It was entertaining watching. It really was. You never knew when the next big draft. I mean, you literally had 2, frontline wide receivers traded within 20 minutes of each other, probably. Hollywood Brown going to the Arizona Cardinals and A.J. Brown going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Folks, we don't like that.
Lamar Jackson wasn't very happy.
No.
He tweeted out WTF, which could stand for Why Trade Friends.
Why trade friends?
Why do you trade friends?
Well, because you're hoping to get better.
But then there was also a person named First Take Chuck who tweeted out, "What the effing F, bro? We traded away Hollywood," followed by broken heart emojis that Lamar retweeted.
Oh.
Thought that was good. The funny thing, though, is that Hollywood Brown apparently wanted this trade. And he said he talked to Lamar Jackson about it.
Mm-hmm.
Brown said he
maybe he was saying WTF to Brown himself then.
I don't think so.
Maybe it was less to the Ravens.
He said it was just my happiness. I talked to Lamar about it after my second year and then after my third and leading up to the end of the season. And I was like, yeah, bro, I just can't do it. So it's not on Lamar. I love Lamar, but it's just something I had to think about for myself.
Honestly,
for Maryland.
You know what this is? It's a reminder that there is the transfer portal in the NFL too. We just call it trades.
Well,
player isn't happy with where he is anymore, and he's leaving his teammates behind. So in a way, college actually is preparing them for the pros.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. The difference is Hollywood Brown couldn't just enter. He couldn't trade himself. Someone had to trade for him. The team had to trade for him. And then they had to, pay a price. And now Hollywood Brown gets to be reunited with Kyler Murray in Arizona.
A team that's definitely on the up
Though
and up.
you don't have Lincoln Riley anymore.
Oh, but he has Cliff
the
Kingsbury.
guy you have now is
Took him to the playoffs.
barely. After
Hey,
they had a,
wow,
after they had-
barely. What is
after
this,
they-
horseshoes or
after-
hand grenades?
After they had a nice, comfortable lead with a chance to lock down the NFC West, and then they
Don't.
Why do you
choked it
don't
away.
make- last time you made that noise, I had to bleep it out.
Yeah,
of the
don't make
podcast,
that
guys.
No, there's no bleeping out of the podcast.
it's
That's what the
inappropriate.
Cardinals did. They
It's
literally
inappropriate.
did. They were on the field going.
Don't make that noise.
I don't want the friends of the Grum to have to hear that.
Well,
FCC
then stop.
violation.
Then get rid of Kingsbury so the Cardinals stop choking.
I thought you don't you like them choking though?
Oh, I do. I love it.
There you go. Keep
I
it
love
forever.
it. You keep him forever.
Mhm.
And then in AJ Brown, the Eagles starting to parlay all those picks.
Thank God they have
you
a
wanna
bad
thank somebody
quarterback.
for this. Thank Frisco.
Throw the ball into the turf.
Who threw last year's draft in the trash so they could draft Trey Lance. You can thank them for the Eagles having this kind of cash, which, by the way, they still have multiple first-round picks next year.
Yeah, I don't like it. The funny thing about them trading him to Philadelphia was that his very head coach was, let's see, Vrabel. This was on the Rich Eisen show on Thursday. So like yesterday, he was on the Rich Eisen show. I'll just read the story. Appearing on the Rich Eisen show Thursday, Titans coach Mike Vrabel flatly denied there is a chance A.J. Brown could be traded. Not as long as I'm the head coach, was Vrabel's response to the question of Brown's trade status. Did you see the video of him when the trade went down of their war room? He got up. I don't remember if he did the surrender.
Vrabel?
Yeah, if he did the surrender cobra, but he turned around and like walked back, and then he came back. I think he just need. My guess is he needed to turn away from the camera, maybe say a few words under his breath, or at least lip them, or maybe just clench his teeth.
Oh, boy.
And then turn around. So
That's not good.
This is not good indeed. Now, it's interesting because very quickly, it shows what this league can be. Very quickly, it seems like their window has closed. I think that they've overachieved over the last few years. What they were able to do in 2019, making it all the way to the AFC Championship game. Now, they didn't win a playoff game in after the 2020 season. They actually lost to the Ravens in their postseason. And then this year, overachieved by getting the 1 seed. Now they went one and done in the playoffs, but they lost to a team that almost won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, maybe not the worst thing, but it just feels like their window now gone as they perhaps try to figure out what's going to happen. Is Tannehill the guy to take them to the next level? My guess is no. And so then they'll have to figure out, not to mention, I mean, every year that goes by, Derrick Henry's getting a little bit older. Of course, he's been banged up, yada, yada, yada.
And, speaking with Mitch Holthus yesterday, and, it seemed like he was pretty confident the Chiefs were going to move up the board. They weren't going to keep both 29 and 30, and they did. They moved 29 out of the way so they could slide up the board and get Trent McDuffie. So they filled the cornerback situation, and then they went D-line. They went to Karlaftis.
Not wide receiver.
Well, but the same philosophy was there, because the Packers, they had picks 22 and 28, and they went defense both ways.
It's so deep at wide receiver.
It seemed like there was, there were those handful of receivers at the very top of the board, the Garrett Wilsons, the Drake Londons, the Jameson Williams, the Chris Olaves, those guys, and then maybe a bit of a gap, and now you're going to get the next wave, and it'll probably start here tonight. And, the Packers, who, famously never seem to pick offensive players for Aaron Rodgers, they went defense with both of theirs, and the Chiefs decided they're not going to go receiver yet, and they went out and got Karlaftis out of Purdue. So
the receivers, you can continue to find them. It's a great position of value. So they'll do that. But just interesting, given how much we talked about it with Mitch on yesterday's show.
And then there was probably the most questioned pick in the first round, and that was the offensive lineman from Chattanooga, Cole Strange, who a lot of people on their draft boards had, basically somewhere between 70 and 90. And he moves up all the way into the first round. I've got ESPN's draft rankings on here, and he was 77th.
Oof.
You see all the the other draft picks concentrated near the top of the board. He was 77th. Now,
of course, the team picking him. I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do we give them the benefit of the doubt still? like to the degree that we used to.
Some are,
I'm
but
not.
Others aren't.
I'm not going to with this one.
And others might include the coach of your Super Bowl champions. Did you see this last night? So the Rams were doing a live,
I saw their
press
draft room
conference.
was hilarious.
They did a live press conference last night. They had Les Snead, the GM, and Sean McVay, the coach of your world champions. They were at the podium at the moment that Strange got drafted. And here's what took place.
Really? Oh, my UT Chattanooga to the first round. Hey, how about that? And we wasted our time watching him thinking he'd be at 104 maybe.
That is funny.
What a maniacal laugh.
That is funny. That is funny.
The rest of that clip, that was McVay who was laughing at the end and talking about, we thought he'd be there at 109 or whatever.
Sean McVay.
Les Snead at the end of that clip said, he kind of talked him up and said, hey, the kid's got a great first step, all this other stuff. But they were both very caught off guard.
Oh,
a lot of people
yeah.
in the NFL were caught off guard.
Well, especially when he said we thought we could get him at 104. 76 picks later, man. And this happens every year. Doesn't it happen every year where there is that out of nowhere first round pick? And I'm not saying like, oh, wow, that guy, we graded him as a high second rounder and he got picked in the first. But one of those like, wait, what the hell? This was a third or maybe even a fourth round guy that we thought would be around, by Saturday. And he's ended up getting picked. Interesting.
Yeah. And it's not like, because I'm just looking it up right now. Oh, it's taken a bit to get up there, but the Patriots still have a lot of picks, right? They could have gotten him, somewhere in the second round, if memory serves. And
they have 54th pick tonight, and the 85th pick, and the 94th pick. So they have 3 picks tonight.
Right.
And then they're going into Saturday.
But if they really wanted to,
they probably could have got him at 54.
They could have got him at 54, but even if they thought, well, maybe get a little nervous, they could have parlayed a couple of those back-end selections and moved up higher into the second round.
Yeah.
But to get after it, and there are quite a few folks that are questioning it. Now, of course, the Patriot folks are like, well, it's Belichick. He's the smartest man in the world, so don't we know?
Look, I'm not going here to poo-poo his resume, but
yeah, you don't poo-poo his resume, but
could you have gotten this guy later?
I think you probably could have.
I do too. Not to mention, man, the further we're going to get away from them winning a Super Bowl. Look, and it's not that long ago. It was 2018. It was three years ago, February, that it happened. It's not that long ago. But the further we get away from that, the less of a benefit of the doubt that they'll have. And, certainly what happened with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, that is going to play a part in this too. It just is.
And then your boys.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one, man.
Went out and got Tyler Smith, the offensive tackle.
Yeah, I saw
from Tulsa.
So I saw 2 things about him, and I'm excited to have Michael on because I want to ask him what he thinks. So one thing, positive boy to begin. According to the Positive Boys, Pro Football Focus, his run blocking grade was the highest by an AAC tackle ever, 93.9. There you go, positive. On the negative, though, the negative boys. Other PFF grades, 36th percentile in pass block, 28th in pass block on true pass sets, 18th pass block with no play action. And then the numbers get worse. 46th, 87th, 98th, and 44th on a variety of other factors. Not going to pretend like I've watched a lot of Tyler Smith tape, but it was on the Cowboys' radar. And there was one my favorite Cowboys person down there, Bob Sturm. He writes for The Athletic, and he hosts a show on The Ticket in Dallas. He said at some point recently, like, if they draft him, I'm retiring. And because he showed a couple of clips of like why it's a bad idea. And of course, he's not going to retire, but they drafted him. So,
well, it was questioned.
Everyone says very raw prospect.
It was questioned last night during the Cowboys press conference, which led to this moment.
Let me put it like this. We have both of them. This was printed 3 days ago below him. Both of those players are below him. Can you see that?
Don't show him that.
I'm not going to show him that.
Yeah, Jerry Jones was actually holding up their draft chart, and it was Stephen Jones telling him, put that down. They were kind of laughing about it, but
yeah.
Now, what was not
look
shown,
on McCarthy's face was funny because I think he was actually annoyed by it.
I didn't get a chance to zoom in, but I bet if you zoom in, it was probably the first page of Green Eggs and Ham. That would be my guess. I mean, do you really think they
put
give
$1 in the Nick jar, John? That joke was poor.
Do you really think that they gave Jerry the real sheet? They probably gave him a fake one, just to make him
I bet
happy.
that was the real sheet.
And what was the deal with the kids sitting there in the war room?
That's how the family operation rolls, man. They just have the kids around all the time. This is Dallas. You don't ever notice them when they cut to, hey, there's Mr. Jones.
The kids are actually the ones.
But they're in the war room. They're actually making important picks. And you got the end of the head of the table. You got the Jones boys and you got McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can make the argument, what's McCarthy doing at the adults table too? But
I hate all
so there's a ball pit with the names of everybody getting drafted, right? The kids just go in there, pick one.
But it looked like I don't know whose kid that was.
Yeah, my guess was his grandkid.
But yeah, there's a kid sitting there. It's like, wait a minute.
He isn't old.
What the heck?
This is how all these franchises, well, not all of them.
No, I've never seen any other war room with kids in there.
That's not true. 2 years ago, war rooms had kids in them all the time. Don't you forget about the pandemic, John.
This isn't the pandemic anymore, so saith Roger Goodell.
We're in a new era. Remember?
That's right. It's the end.
It's back to old school war room.
Hell yeah. There are families. Are there not kids in war rooms?
Not usually.
Well, the next time I see a kid in a war room, I'm going to tweet a picture at you.
Please do.
I will.
Next time the Cowboys win something, tweet me a picture of that too.
I will.
I know you will.
I will. Oh,
I know you will.
I'll remind you.
Josh will tweet everybody.
Oh, I will. Yeah. I've been taking copious notes on everyone who's ever said a mean thing to me about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm coming for all of you.
Man, I hope you.
I actually haven't been taking.
Hope you don't
notes.
get carpal tunnel syndrome. There's a lot of people.
Do a video of myself flipping everybody off, and I'll just tweet that out and see if our bosses are okay with it.
They won't be.
It's Twitter.
Yeah, you don't worry. We don't have to worry about it anyway.
Damn it.
Coming up, the newly renamed Pay for Play today.
Bah, bah.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. The weather tonight sucks. Can you imagine being outside dealing with the elements tonight of all nights? That sounds absolutely miserable. But the Top Tracer building is perfect for nights like tonight because you are inside, you are comfortable, you are most importantly covered. Again, not outside, you are inside. Televisions, food, drinks, and virtual golf from all around the world. Whether it is an 18 from the old course at St. Andrews overseas or working on those skills, figuring out the distances ahead of May, June, July, August, etc., you can do all of that and more inside of the Top Tracer building. Not to mention, that is where lessons take place via their director of instruction, Mike Favre. Get your golf game ready to go ahead of the rest of the spring and summer. You don't want to get invited to one of those work parties. You don't want to get invited to a Saturday morning with your friends and hem and haw internally because you know you're going to go out and duff that first shot. Get your golf game fixed with Mike Favre. Whether you've never picked up a club or you are a scratch golfer, he can help you get better. 402-498-0220. They are located just north of Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Sid Dillon is your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer. Shop in stock and inbound inventory or order your medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Choose the 9 days you want to come to Warner Park with the Chasers Gold Pack. Come enjoy bobblehead and replica jersey giveaways, fireworks, bands and brews, dollar beer nights, and more. Learn more at OmahaStormChasers.com.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear, shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
Get your Fernando's fix at 2 locations in Omaha for the best Mexican food. 70th of the Pacific and 114th and Dodge. Made fresh your way. You can even hear the fajitas sizzling, and you can also hear the fun of happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. The $10 taco basket, $2 off nachos, discounts off drinks, and always the home of the $6 margaritas at Fernando's, 70th of the Pacific, 114th and Dodge, and now the new home of the 1620 The Zone beer at 75th of the Pacific. It's Fernando's, online at fernandosomaha.com.
Where could 5 Hour Energy take you? How about on a $10,000 dream vacation? Imagine visiting a sun-soaked tropical beach, a picturesque ski resort in the mountains, or exploring one of the world's most exciting cities. It's up to you. Just vote for 5 Hour Energy's next delicious flavor. 5 lucky winners will get the trip of a lifetime to their dream destination. Go to 5hevote.com for official rules and to enter. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends June 30th, 2022. Must be U.S. resident, age 18 or older to enter. Void where prohibited. Sponsored by Living Essentials, LLC.
Does eating at home have you singing the blues? Stop by Cops, 72nd and Jones, or the Shadow Lake Town Center to grab a delicious pizza, fresh salad, and some tasty charred wings. Cops Shadow Lake Town Center just added 30 new menu items, including salmon, certified Angus beef fillets, ribeyes and sirloins, several pasta dishes, and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cops, 72nd and Jones, and the Shadow Lake Town Center. Click copspizza.com to see the extensive new Shadow Lake menu.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes, a Nebraska family practice physician. Are you or someone you love at risk of an opioid overdose? Get the free Opie Rescue app for your phone. Opie Rescue can guide you through the steps of how to respond to an opioid overdose. Be Opie ready. Download Opie Rescue today.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Xavier's up 3-2 on Creighton, top of the third. That's a small ballpark they play in up there in Cincinnati. And so they usually
Also, Happer hates it.
Well, they got a lot of runs. You usually get a lot of runs in Cincinnati. Well, I told you we've had to rename it. What now used to be known as the NIL Today. That I was looking for.
Also, am I missing who's the Jared guy? Gerard?
Jared Lambrecht. He used to work.
He runs. He's the bag man.
He runs a bag man. He runs
okay.
ABM. He used to actually work for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Now he works for.
He's
he
the one
runs
that
a bag
runs
man.
Nebraska's NIL operation. But as you know, we are now calling it the Pay for Play Today.
Pay for Play Today.
So the big story last night, Miami, who earlier this week, actually last weekend, went out and put together a huge package.
A strong-ass offer?
To Kansas State transfer Nigel Pack. That was advertised. I mean, the minute he announced, then the attorney, the billionaire, John Ruiz, who has been kind of running Miami's, he's the Jared Lambrecht of Miami, but he's got a lot more money because he's a billionaire.
With a B.
They announced it openly, what Pack was getting, $800,000 over 2 years plus a car.
Yeah, because he runs
to transfer to Miami.
He runs Life Wallet.
Yes.
This guy runs Life Wallet.
And I think he's got, I don't know, cigarette racing. I don't know what he does with racing, but I've not heard of him before. Anyway, so that deal was announced last weekend. And of course, a lot of people were like, whoa, because
straight cash, homie.
It was straight cash, but it was also how brazen they were just to come out and announce it. Hey, this is what we're giving him. Because you don't have to publicize the pay for play. Pay for play deals is what we're calling it now. Well, Isaiah Wong, who played last year for Miami on the team that was in the NCAA tournament, issued a statement through his attorney, Adam Pappas, who works for the Next Sports Agency. Last night, Pappas announced if Isaiah and his family don't feel that the NIL number meets their expectations, they will be entering the transfer portal tomorrow while maintaining his eligibility in the NBA draft and going through the draft process. Pappas also said Isaiah would like to stay at Miami.
Nah, there you go. Positive.
He had a great season leading his team to the Elite Eight. He has seen what incoming Miami Hurricane basketball players are getting in NIL and would like his NIL to reflect that he was a team leader of an Elite Eight team.
Second on the team in scoring last year.
Yeah. So guys who are coming into the program already creating a stir in the current locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the attorney, Ruiz, the billionaire, he was asked about the situation and said in a text message to ESPN last night, Isaiah is under contract. He has been treated by LifeWallet exceptionally well. If that is what he decides, I wish him well. However, I do not, his emphasis, renegotiate.
I thought he wants to renegotiate, though.
No, this is the attorney. The attorney's saying, I do not renegotiate. I cannot disclose the amount, but what I can say is that he was treated very fairly. So essentially, Ruiz is calling out Wong and Pappas on their bluff.
Okay. Oh, I misunderstood what you were saying then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The NIL dude, the money bags.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying his lawyer. Okay.
No.
That's where. Okay.
No.
Okay.
The lawyer is saying, no, we're treating him fair, and I do not renegotiate. It's almost like when you hear it in politics, we do not negotiate with terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is now the new age of NIL. We do not renegotiate. So now you've got a standoff here, and you wonder, is Wong actually going to follow through on this? Is he going to enter the transfer portal? I'll say this. I think he is getting some bad advice.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the parts that I know we have not discussed enough on this show, and I would say collectively we have all not done enough to discuss.
Oh, collectively, I see what you did there.
Not even trying to do a pun, but thank you very much. I'll take it.
Put money in the jar.
But with this story, of course, the conversation often revolves around selfishness, about money, about the way things were and the way things are, and all of those frustrations. And look, I think that we've done a good job in talking about that and exploring those topics. One of the things, though, that I don't know if we as a college sports media and fandom have done enough is discuss the bad advice that these players get, that they often get. And I think that there are reasons why. I think that it's like a tough topic to get into because there's an implication almost that the players are either dumb or naive to some degree. Of course, they are younger than you and I are.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're younger than most of the people that are opining about them in a public forum, players or fans and media alike. So I think that is a big part of it. But I think that I'm with you. I think that is absolutely the case in a lot of these stories. I certainly think it's the case in the transfer portal. ESPN.com. They did a story earlier this week about the number of players that are in the portal right now and how many of them are still in there. It was how many players have entered and how many are stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to 2018, when that thing went online, at the end of September or early October, whenever it was, because I remember Greg Bell was like the first local player around here that entered it in the middle of the season. And we we're like, wow, that's weird. And in that moment, I know we discussed, are these players sure that they are doing like what they think that they are doing? Because I have long maintained that players that go into the transfer portal think that there is a team out there no matter what, that they will enter and they will exit. And the program might be better, it might be worse, but at the very least, they will get a scholarship. And Greg Bell, I'll go back to him again, John. He has always been the player that I use as an example because Greg Bell ended up walking on at San Diego State. Now, he actually has had a pretty solid career at San Diego State. He had a pretty solid career at San Diego State, rushed for more than 1,000 yards in 2021, had 9 touchdowns, but he had to walk on. He was a scholarship, a JUCO scholarship running back going to Nebraska in 2018. He left, and then he had to walk on at another school. He, I would imagine, got some sort of poor advice. And I'm guessing that a lot of these players are going to continue to get poor advice. Poor advice is nothing new to the world of college sports or sports in general. But I do wonder, now that the money is so front facing and it's so out there, I just you just worry about, these types of things happening.
The reason I think it's bad advice, there's a pretty good chance that Wong's going to end up coming out less than whatever he's making at Miami now. And Ruiz, the billionaire who's funding all of this, or funding most of it, has said, hey, he's got a nice package. We've already given him one. You can mark that.
Already did.
And I'm not going to renegotiate.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're 48 hours essentially from the deadline to announce.
Yeah, you're talking about the May 1st deadline.
And they're trying to leverage this time against Miami. And Miami's saying we're not budging. I say Miami, it's actually the
collective. It's this billionaire, really.
And the problem with that is, okay, so let's say he carries through on the threat and goes into the transfer portal. I know if I'm a coach, I'm looking at Isaiah Wong in an entirely different light. I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want this in my locker room. And I know we kind of dismissed it a little bit about, players comparing their NIL deals and whether or not it would create fracture in the locker room. Well, in this case, it certainly has.
And I do want to clean that up because
it certainly has, because Wong is obviously upset that people who have never played for Miami and are coming in as outsiders are getting more than he is.
Yeah, and I think that was another thing maybe we discussed in the wrong way. I never wanted it to come off as there will not be locker room drama, or that there won't be, hey, get out the ruler and compare your contract compared to my contract. That is obviously going to happen. I think the thing maybe that I would want to focus on is that is a fact of life beyond college. And so in a way, I think that this can be good preparation for people are always going to think they're underpaid. Find me a listener out there who thinks that they are paid properly. I don't think you could. I think everyone thinks that they are underpaid. I imagine that there are listeners right now who are saying, I can't believe that so-and-so down the hallway is making more than me. He doesn't do as much as I do. She doesn't do as much as I do. I know that is happening. It's really being able to handle that. And also, look, in some worlds there are contracts. You have multi-year contracts. You have annual raises, whatever it is. In other situations, you do have to, fight every single whatever to get more money. So those things are absolutely going to be the case. The one part, though, that I will say that maybe we didn't talk about enough was all of these new players, whether it's a recruit or it is a player going into the transfer portal and then joining, via transfer. When they join, it does become such a big talking point, that hey, look at how much this player is getting paid and look how much this player is getting paid. I have wondered, well, what does it mean for the guys that are currently on the roster that were there for a few years? Because in a way, the new players are always going to get more money because it's always kind of escalating, rather than actually, unless you are a bona fide superstar that was already on the roster.
Now there, and the problem is, can it be good life training? It can, but now we're talking, instead of talking about, one of the problems with this coming to light, the dirty money now becoming clean, is back in the day, you probably didn't tell a lot of people what you were getting. Thus, there was, it was just night. You probably had a sense that, Johnny All-American quarterback's is getting more than me, but you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know unless he said something, because they usually kept that stuff under the table. Now it's being publicized openly. And it can be hard for 17 and 18-year-olds to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And so training, yes, but I don't know if that's necessarily, we've gone from 0 to 100 on this issue. And there's a lot of, shock and awe going on right now that it's hard for some people to take. Plus, Wong is being represented here And so some of this is probably also being driven by his attorney or his
Mhm.
agent.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he has an agent is he is going through the NBA draft process, but, there's a likelihood he's going to pull his name out. The issue here is that Wong may be playing himself out of a better NIL deal, because if he does follow through and he does go into the transfer portal, you're going to have some programs that are like, I don't need that. I just don't need that. Fair or foul, they're gonna look away and say, I don't know if I necessarily want that. That's gonna lower his perceived value and his demand on the market. Thus, he could end up getting an NIL deal that's less than what he's getting right now from Miami just by playing chicken with this collective.
Well, let me add one more thing on top of that before we talk to Baz. I think that you could make an argument. We just saw something similar play out in a little different way with Kayvon Thibodeau. If you read the reports from him and about him throughout the draft process, it seems like a lot of franchises were scared off by me, in the way he talked. Now, look, I think he's going to be a good pro, and I hate that he's in the same division as the Dallas Cowboys. Not a fan of it. I think he's going to be a really good player. But that mindset, I can't argue with you to say, like, no, coaches wouldn't think that way. Of course they would. Kayvon Thibodeau was, a can't-miss dude. And look, he still was picked in the top, 5, so it's not like he, it fell out of the first round or something. But his maybe mindset on things, it dropped him, because there are going to be some people that just say, no, I don't want to deal with a word you just said, the headache of it.
I don't want to deal with the headache.
Yeah.
So this will be an interesting game of chicken to see how it eventually plays out. But even if Wong and his party stands down, the friction in the locker room has already started.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were hoping would be a exciting offseason where Miami, coming off an Elite Eight, is theoretically getting better. Now you have to deal with all of this.
Yeah.
It's one of those consequences that comes from NIL, or pay for play. Coming up, Chris Basnett, the Huskers, getting ready to first pitch against Iowa. Baseball today,
not tonight. Tonight
Awesome.
things are a little dicey with the weather.
They are. They're a little dicey with the weather.
Maybe cancel some plans if you already had some. Cancel them.
Coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Speaking of baseball, I imagine so many of you will be heading to the ballpark all summer long, and maybe a particular tournament that takes place in downtown Omaha in mid to late June. Well, sometimes when you're at said sporting events, you're sitting a little high up. You're far away from the action. And in a sport like baseball, where it's just this little white ball that is being thrown around all over the yard, you want to be able to see it. Crisp, clear vision, now more affordable than ever, thanks to Kugler Vision's flexible payment plans. They will help you get great vision and fit it into your budget. Schedule a consultation online today at kuglervision.com. You can also call right there from the website. They have a ton of information. You hear about LASIK all the time, but they offer 6 other modern vision correction procedures as well. If you have been told that you do not qualify for LASIK, no problem. Give them a call at 402-558-2211 and find out about perhaps LASIK or one of the other options that they have for you. Head to their website today and schedule that consultation, kuglervision.com.
The Connor Happer Show.
Sam, would you agree that onions are the most valuable vegetable?
Yeah, they're valuable. Broccoli's awfully valuable too. I don't know. I mean, I think onions way up there. Certainly a versatile operation.
That's what we're looking for.
One thing you can't do with onions is you can't really have them as a side dish. And broccoli, you can. Usually onions are part of a dish. You don't have an onion salad, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better salad on the planet than a broccoli, bacon, cranberry salad. That's one heck of a salad.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Slight chance of a morning shower Friday, otherwise mostly cloudy and breezy. Highs topping out in the mid-60s. Strong to severe storms are likely in the metro after 7 p.m. Some of those could produce large hail, damage, and wind gusts, and possibly an isolated tornado as well. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring,
It's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
Accidents are stressful enough without having to navigate the claims process on your own. This is Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center. Don't be misinformed by others about your legal right to choose your shop. Having a certified repair facility working in your best interest is the only way to trust you receive the safe, proper repairs you deserve. Remember, it's your vehicle, your safety, and it's always your choice. Dingman's is your choice if you are looking for a certified shop that puts the vehicle owner first. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
From sports medicine to spine, bone, and joint problems, Nebraska Medicine is your home for the region's most comprehensive orthopedic care. Our specialists have the unmatched expertise to diagnose and treat common and complex problems, with surgery being a last resort. With multiple locations, our leading care is miles ahead, yet close to home. For orthopedic advances, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/ortho.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection, plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street, next to Covey's.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Do you know the common signs of transmission trouble?
Your engine revs before falling into gear. Shifting is rough, or you're leaking reddish-brown fluid.
Knowing the signs could mean repair instead of replace.
That's where we come in. We're certified transmission.
The job done right at the right price.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Leia, you whore!
The 1620. The Zone.
Chris Basnett joining us from the Lincoln Journal Star, HuskerExtra.com.
Have you ever had a show that you loved to join, held them close to your heart like a commemorative coin? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I used to join the best show in the U.S. nation, but all of a sudden, some young'un came to be and stole all my thunder at 1620. His golf sure is a dope he wouldn't hesitate to lend. The boys at Unsportsmanlike Conduct told me he was just a friend. You got what I need.
He's just such a natural.
But you say Chris is just a friend. But you say Chris is just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
I think the sky's the limit.
You got what I need.
I don't know if you learn a lot of these things.
But you say Chris is just a friend. You say Chris is just a friend.
It was perfectly boring.
Breaking news this afternoon. The rally has been postponed until Sunday due to weather. For those of you who might be out at said rally listening to us right now.
Oh, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Chris Basnett of the Lincoln Journal Star is joining us. We're going to talk some Husker baseball. If you're looking for something else to do
this afternoon,
about 25 minutes away from where you're at is Haymarket Park. You could catch a little afternoon baseball. The Huskers and Iowa in a big Big Ten series. Baz, how are things?
Things are good. We're at the ballpark. They're putting the chalk down. We got the teams huddling in left and right field. We're getting ready to roll. It's a big day.
So what are your eyes going to be, not to skip ahead because there is a game now, but there'll be a game tomorrow too. What are your eyes going to be focused on Saturday afternoon? The baseball, the skies, or O'Shawn Mathis's social media accounts?
I'm going to go with the skies. I think there's going to be enough eyes
Mr. Mathis's account, but I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to be looking skyward tomorrow to see if we get any baseball in.
Baz, let's start with the baseball before we get into the Mathis conversation. When you look now at where Nebraska sits in the league, of course, knowing that 8 teams are going to make it to Omaha for the Big Ten tournament, and Nebraska's record overall, not to mention what they've done lately, finally getting some runs going. What makes a good weekend for Nebraska? Is it 2 or does it have to be 3 wins?
It doesn't have to be 3. 2 would obviously go a long way. It's just such a fascinating series, I think, because Iowa's pitching staff is so good, and they're really good in the areas where Nebraska struggled. You know, they really limit teams when it comes to hits. They strike out a ton of guys, and look, we've watched Nebraska this year. They struggle to get hits at times, and they strike out a lot. Now it's been better the last 3 games against 3 different teams. It's their best offensive stretch in quite a while, but it's going to be a big test. And like we've talked about before, Nebraska needs to win as many games in the league as they possibly can. So, yeah, if you're Nebraska, would you love a sweep this weekend? Of course you would. But if you can get 2, that's a pretty good weekend. And even if you get 1, I don't think you're all that disappointed.
I would agree. Iowa does look really stout on the mound. They've had 6 different guys pitch on weekends, and they're rolling out 3 this weekend that are really, really good. And as you mentioned, they lead the country in strikeouts per 9. How much of that is a kryptonite to what Nebraska's been able to do this week, starting with the Sunday game against Indiana and then blending into the Kansas State and the Omaha games where Nebraska scored an awful lot of runs, but does the specter of those strikeouts loom large this weekend?
I think it's the biggest factor of the whole weekend. This, outside of BYU, this is going to be the best pitching staff Nebraska probably sees. And I think Iowa strikes out way more guys than BYU did. And BYU brought a bunch of power arms in here and really shut Nebraska down. So, yeah, we'll see if this hot streak is for real. It's kind of like a heat check in basketball for Nebraska's offense. They're going to have a chance to stay hot, but they're going to do it against a pitching staff that does the one thing that has really hurt Nebraska this year. They strike a ton of guys out, and this has been a problem from the beginning of the season for NU. So if Nebraska has truly made a jump offensively, if they've truly made a step forward, we should probably see some of that this weekend. But don't be surprised if Iowa puts up some big numbers in the strikeout column too.
What has been the biggest difference in Nebraska's turn of fortune this week? Has it been the aggressiveness on the base paths, a better plate approach, a combination of those? What's been the biggest thing?
I think it's a combination. It starts with they're getting leadoff guys on. Cam Chick has been really good batting in the leadoff spot to kind of set the tone for them. And even when he's not getting hits, he's probably getting hit by a pitch. So he's getting on base one way or the other. And that's kind of fed on down the lineup. I think it's finally kind of kicked in through the rest of this lineup where, hey, if we get guys on, it's going to be easier to hit. This team can hit fastballs, and you're going to see a lot more fastballs when there's runners on the base paths making things tough for pitchers. So it starts with Nebraska's guys that are leading off innings having a better approach, getting on base, forcing pitchers to maybe throw it over a little bit fatter part of the plate and get away from the breaking stuff. And that's allowed Nebraska, who hunts fastballs, to get a lot more fastballs to hit, and they're finally starting to turn a few of those around.
So, Baz, talking about O'Shawn Mathis, it's been really interesting because when his name first got on the radar for Nebraska, 2-3 weeks ago, the conversation at that moment was like, well, good luck, but of course he's going to go to Texas. And it really does seem like things have changed. When you look ahead to tomorrow, I guess if you're doing percentage breakdown, is Nebraska, 51 or 50.1% for you, or would you still lean Texas at this point?
I think I lean Nebraska a little bit, and I say that because if it was Texas, it would probably be pretty clear at this point that it was Texas. I think just with O'Shawn being a Texas guy, having played at TCU, with Nebraska's history with some of these guys, it just seems like it would be pretty blatantly obvious at this point if he wasn't coming to Lincoln, but it doesn't seem like it's cut and dry yet. And that makes me think Nebraska's got a real chance and a really good chance to make this happen. Does that mean, it's a done deal? Absolutely not. This stuff is crazy and we see it over and over and over again, but Nebraska's still in it. And that leads you to think that maybe Nebraska's the favorite going into tomorrow.
Beyond getting a pass rusher who has second team all conference talent. Does Nebraska need this almost as much for just a momentum boost or an attitude boost when you look across the landscape and you see how, certain schools are being perceived by the number of players they're able to bring in, and Nebraska's waiting for that big fish to come in?
Yeah, I do. They've had some wins on the recruiting trail, obviously, and maybe a few more of those this year than in the past, but this is a big one. And you're talking about, maybe the number one transfer out there, depending on whose opinion you ask about that. And if Nebraska's able to make that happen, then that's nothing but good, because you're getting a high profile, highly thought of guy, but you're getting that guy at a spot where you really, really need help. So it's a win on multiple levels for Nebraska if they're able to pull this off. So yeah, absolutely. If Nebraska makes this happen, it just bleeds into everything for this program as far as being a positive step forward at a time when the program, needs good news and wants to have good news as much as it can get it.
Baz, let me add one more thing on top of that this could maybe show, when we've been talking about name, image, likeness since it went on board last July, I think that there is, been a little frustration around here that maybe Nebraska hasn't been playing the game as much as other schools. Whether or not you like that this is the new era of sports, you do have to embrace it. This would be a win from that front too, right? That Nebraska shows, hey, they can compete with the big dogs if it's going to come down to money in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. And look, let's be real about it. If Nebraska lands O'Shawn Mathis, that's going to be a huge part of that deal. There's no doubt about that. And we saw that, with some of the pictures that he's posted on social media, and then when he was up here for his visit and things like that. And it's a big part of where he's going to end up. And if it is Nebraska, then yeah, you're absolutely right. That shows Nebraska can go out there and can compete against anybody in the country, by and large, for big time transfers. So yeah, that's a thing where it's going to pay dividends now, certainly, but it can also pay dividends even going into the next offseason, years going down the road, because it shows that Nebraska can compete in that arena.
We found out yesterday that the odds were actually posted 2 days ago over on the FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code 1620.
Nice.
Nebraska has the second best odds to win the Big Ten West. Wisconsin's first at plus 185 and Nebraska's second at plus 250. When you hear that, and then you kind of back it up with what we heard from ESPN a couple of weeks ago when they put out their FPI and it said Nebraska actually had a better chance of winning the West than does Wisconsin. Do we need to ramp up the expectations a little bit more than a lot of us have been wanting to do?
Well, I think, look, I'm full throttle at thinking they're going to win 12 games. I don't know about you guys. No, look, it's probably different for us because we're close to it and we see it every single day, and it's different for those of us, that are over there at all the press conferences and things like that, because we see it in a little different light. But look, the results are the results, and it's at this point they've got to prove it on the field to me. Is it fine? Is it fine to have higher expectations? Yeah, absolutely. And it's for the things you mentioned. It's for the fact that Scott Frost is in the most important year of his head coaching career. I think that's a reason to have better, bigger expectations. And it's because of some of the guys they brought in the transfer portal. There's a lot of different reasons to have higher expectations for this team. And I would get where people would want to do that, and where these odds coming out would lead you to want to do that. But at the same time, look, the record is what it is. 3-9 is 3-9 last year. And you can talk about close and whatever it is, but the guy in the third base dugout down here, Will Bolt, said a couple weeks ago, you are what your record says you are for a reason. So in my mind, it's got to happen on the field. It's fine to have those expectations. At the same time, reality is what it is, and Nebraska's got to go out and prove it.
Guys, I don't know if it's just like all the stuff with O'Shawn Mathis this week, or maybe even these odds that came out earlier this week, but I have definitely found myself thinking a lot more about like the start of the season than I was even a couple of weeks ago. And perhaps it's because May is a couple of days away. The week leading up to that Northwestern game, like I know we thought last year's Illinois game was intense, and it certainly was, but this one, like I've just found myself getting like excited to just watch it, just to see this story unfold, given they're going overseas and they're going to play a team that they destroyed last year, but is going to be, ready to go in this one. It should be really fascinating.
It's going to be wild because it's everything you said. And it reminds me so much of the Illinois game to start the season last year, where if a win or a loss could really set the tone for the whole season, right? Like if you go out there and you smash Northwestern again, like you did last year, then you go, oh, okay, well, they might have something going here. But if you go out there and it's mistake filled and it's sloppy and it's gross like it was at Illinois last year, and you lose that game, then who knows what direction it goes with everything that's on the line next year. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. And the compressed time frame, like you said, going overseas, the weirdness of that. And then the pressure just with you need to win games like that if you're Scott Frost and if you're Nebraska. So yeah, it's going to be as interesting an opener as they've had in at least 1 year going back to that last Illinois.
Well, Josh wants to hit the fast forward button and get to the football season.
No. I'm excited for summer.
I'm looking forward to
millennials just want to wish time away.
Exactly.
I like the summer.
I'm looking forward to this weekend series, and I'm sad I can't see this game because it's on BTN Plus and it's like $500 a month.
We need your login, Baz.
Yeah, give us your login when you get a chance.
Well, I'd give you my login, but you probably get a gray screen for the first 4.5 for 5 innings, so it wouldn't matter anyway.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna fix that tomorrow. I will be there in person. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, Baz. I will be there.
I'm fired up.
You should be.
What are you guys gonna do during the rain delay?
Okay.
Slow dance, probably.
Get out.
Oh, nice.
You know what I hope
Friendship.
happens? I hope a truck full of pig slop spills on your path during the Lincoln Marathon tomorrow, and you and all your other joggers go sliding all over the place.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said, and you say many mean things to me.
Well, you want to wish rain on me and Baz.
I was just predicting it.
Nothing's going to rain on our parade, isn't that right, Baz?
Never. It's sunny every day in our world.
There you go.
Always sunny in Lincoln.
Nice. Maybe make that a TV show.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Basnet, our Friday friend. Enjoy the game today, Baz. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas. Talk to you soon.
There is Chris Basnet of the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Nice.
The Omaha Guns and Hoses boxing event is Saturday, May 7th. That's next Saturday, not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow.
Nice.
7 o'clock at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston, put on by the police and the firefighters associations. They're going to fight each other for charity, raise money for great local charities. So get all the details at 1620thezone.com. Movie Club is coming up in just about 15 minutes.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover, or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
Meet Caitlin and Adrian, a just married couple that loves each other almost as much as I love windows. As a dedicated Pella window and door replacement advisor, I help guide them through our quality options and decide on the right choice for their style and budget.
For 0% APR or $500 off your project, go to PellaOmaha.com/radio. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Offer ends April 30th.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just one day left.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently.
I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it until I found Babbel.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
I can't wait to use our new language skills on our upcoming adventures.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
We were telling you last week, I believe it was on Friday, as a matter of fact. By the way, happy One Beer Friday.
Yes. What are you drinking, folks?
Send it to us in the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed that there are some rules changes in college football for this upcoming season. And one of them deals with targeting, that there'll be more of a review process where someone could get their targeting ban lifted for the next half of the next game. But there's another rule, too, that's trying to address flopping. Something that we thought only happened in sports like soccer.
Or basketball.
They don't flop in Formula One.
Well, Louis does. I mean, his car's not even running, doesn't have an engine in it.
Yeah, put the engine in the car, Louis.
But now there was a rule against flopping, faking injuries to slow down the pace.
Remember
the Indiana game a few years ago?
The one that I always remember, this is a while ago now. It was in the Chip Kelly, Oregon era, but they were playing Cal, I believe in 2010, and there was a player, and it was obvious what he was doing. He was not hurt. He got up and he ran off the field. He was totally fine.
If you suspected another team was flopping, you could appeal to the national coordinator of officials, send him the video, and then he would review it. And then if the finding was made that, yes, there was something going on here, they would turn it over to the athletic department or the athletic director of the offending school. So let's use the Nebraska-Indiana game where Indiana was kind of slowing things down with the flipping and the flopping. But we all saw Scott Frost can send the video in to the coordinator of officials, the national coordinator of officials. And then this guy, Steve Shaw, says, yeah, I agree with that. I think there was a little flipping and flopping going on. He sends the results of his findings to Indiana's athletic director and says, if you'd like to punish your own team, go ahead and do it. That literally is what it was currently in place.
Ground your players, please.
Well, now the procedure will change when a school, I'm reading from Tony Barnhart's column from earlier this week, when a school files a report claiming that another team faked an injury, Shaw's office, National Coordinator of Officials, will look at the report and send its finding to the commissioner of that team's conference. Then the commissioner's office will determine if sanctions will be levied. Now, you could still have some shenanigans here because, let's say we have a situation where a Big Ten team is playing a Pac-12 team, and the Pac-12 team is flipping and flopping, and the Big Ten team says, we got a problem here, sends the tape in. Shaw looks at it, says, yep, we got a problem here. But if he sends the findings to old George Klavkov, the commissioner of the Pac-12, is he going to sanction a Pac-12 team for something that happened in a cross-conference game?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, we saw what happened with Nebraska and Colorado back in 2018. Remember when
the whole thing about Adrian's ankle?
Yeah.
So,
not like they were going to punish him. It's a completely different conference.
Yeah, and so Barnhart was a little skeptical that this was going to work too. I still wonder why my idea couldn't work.
What was yours again?
My thought was if a guy goes down, right, on the field, that player is out for the rest of that series. So if he's a defensive player and he goes down, he cannot return to the game until the next time his defense is on the field.
Would you do this for offense as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just using
so
defense
instead,
as an example.
In a way, it's like your helmet falls off rule, but you're just going to a little higher degree.
Yeah. You're out for the rest of the series. Now, the catch, and I realize, and there's nothing perfect, the catch would be, well, okay, so you do that, you're punishing a team. What if it's, what if it's
real?
Legitimate.
But it's funny because it's like, so what you're saying there is, well, John, but what if it's a real injury? To then you almost want to follow up and say, well, maybe they should be out for the rest of the series anyway.
Yeah. Maybe you should spend a little more time with them.
Yeah, it's funny.
A little more time with them in the blue tent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wondering, well, couldn't a team like throw a ringer out there? The ringers in hockey, you go out, the goons, they used to call them in hockey, that would go out and start fights. Well, okay, a defense is not going to put some rando cornerback in there going, all right, we need you to flop after this play because these guys are going too fast. You're not going to take the chance of putting someone out there who could be a weakness in your defense to do all of that.
It's an interesting idea, and one on its face, I just kind of react like, oh, I don't like that. But when you talk it out, it's like, no, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Because it would remove, like, if you're going to actually flop, don't do it, because you might be out the whole series.
Now,
that could be valuable.
One other drawback could be, what if a guy legitimately is hurt? Let's say he turned his ankle or something, or maybe he tweaked his knee, but he is not sure.
And then he's okay.
But he knows, I got to stay on the field. I got to stay on the field because this is a big series.
That's what Amazing Danny says. Is there a concern that a player is more likely to play through an injury too instead of taking a play off? Yeah.
So that's a possibility. And again, it's not a perfect solution, but it's better than we know how these conferences work. We know how there's no honor among thieves. All right. Until we actually get like NFL style, where there's one guy who's in charge and can sanction anybody. As long as the conferences are in charge, it's not going to make any damn difference. Yeah. They're not going to punish their own members, especially if it's a game between, two cross-conference schools. But there has to my idea comes a lot closer to fixing a problem than this one does, in my opinion.
And also, I'll be serious here. How big of a problem is this? I watch a lot of college football. Very rarely am I like, that guy's faking it.
Yeah, I mentioned
it happens.
I mentioned the Indiana, Nebraska.
See, so you had one game, and that's 3 years ago.
But it's annoying when it does happen.
It is annoying. I'm not going to disagree.
It is annoying and shouldn't happen.
It just doesn't seem like fixing targeting is much more important to me. Going to a flagrant 1, flagrant 2 model, that's way more important to me than this. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing a lot of players that are flopping. Maybe. Tony says, adding to John's idea, if you want the player to come back in during that series, you have to forfeit a timeout. So you could literally call a timeout and then
there's an idea.
Bob gets to come back on the field.
There's an idea.
Yeah. I think these are all solid ideas.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Jack Grace has hit a 2-run home run for Creighton. They have retaken the lead in the 5th, 4-3. Creighton at Xavier. And Nebraska is just getting underway against the Iowa Hawkeyes. That game's been pushed up. So again, if you were planning on being somewhere else today and you were at said somewhere else today, and then abruptly your event got canceled and you're looking for something to do, Haymarket Park in Lincoln is ready for you and ready and willing. They have hot dogs, they have soda, they have baseball. I'm just making a suggestion. If you happen to be out there where you may have had an event canceled, that's all I'm saying.
But do they have Sharpies there?
What do you mean? Why would they need Sharpies?
Oh, what if they want to redraw some weather, make it go away?
Well, why would you can't make the weather go away with a Sharpie?
What?
You could take a Sharpie and then get autographs from the Huskers or the Hawkeyes after the
That's
game,
always fun
if you want.
And a real quick follow-up before we talk to Kent. We were discussing Isaiah Wong earlier.
Yeah.
According to Jonathan Givney, who covers the NBA draft for ESPN, he has elected to not enter the portal. He told ESPN he will keep his name in the NBA draft, which I think we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
While maintaining his college eligibility, Wong and his representatives have spoken with the CEO of LifeWallet, John Ruiz, to discuss their differences surrounding his current LifeWallet agreement. Wong has been assured that his agreement complies with NCAA regulations for student athletes in the Florida state law. Both sides are happy to continue their partnership moving forward. So there you go. He's back, folks.
So he backed down.
He did indeed. He did indeed.
He did the opposite of Tom Petty. He will back down.
Yeah,
well, coming up, Gags, someone who's probably seen Tom Petty many times.
Oh, hell yeah.
And will also not back down as we talk about a movie where the man at the center also doesn't back down.
He does bat down, though.
Okay, stop.
I think we're going to have to rescind some of his microphone privileges.
I think so, too.
I think we've gotten to that point.
$5,000 garage makeover sponsored by Langfeld. Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. Woo! Get all the details to enter at 1620thezone.com from Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone. Kent's Movie Club is coming up next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 Zone Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, we've got a significant crash on Highway 370 with injuries. It's causing delays for both directions, eastbound and westbound, between 25th and 36th. Road work still has the right lane closed on the southbound JFK between Cornhusker and Chandler, so expect delays all the way back to Q Street from that. Traffic signals malfunctioning at 204th and Harrison. Go ahead and treat that as a four-way stop. Then we got a crash with injuries on 40th at Ames Ave and a wreck on 144th at Sprague Street. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Burton AC, Plumbing, Heating, and More.
Hi, I'm Mark Evans, owner of Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More. Right now, we'll open your drain line for only $93 or it's free. Call for details or request service at justcallburton.com.
OSI Oakland Foods wants you. OSI Oakland offers competitive pay, benefits, including vacation, medical, dental, vision, 401k, a safe work environment, a $1,500 sign-on bonus, a $1,500 referral bonus, and there's an attendance incentive. OSI offers transportation to and from their plant from Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Atlantic. OSI Oakland is hiring for all shifts, including third shift maintenance at up to $25 an hour and production up to $20 an hour. Apply at osigroup.com/careers or at their plant Monday through Friday for on-the-spot interviews. OSI Oakland is an equal opportunity employer. Veterans welcome.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently.
I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it until I found Babbel.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
I can't wait to use our new language skills on our upcoming adventures.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Friday, the final day of the week. These are the voyages of the Progrum Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Its ongoing mission: to explore strange new movies, to seek out new bits and new edifications, to boldly go where no radio program has gone before. Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club. It is that time of week. Our good friend Kent Wogamat of the Lincoln Journal-Star joins us. How you doing, Kent?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. I'll let you know that hearing your dulcet tones while walking my dog the other night was fine entertainment. I listened to your podcast with Jack Mitchell. That was a fun listen. It was so fun. I got home. You know, Monday nights is garbage night where you take all the garbage out, put it on the curb.
So John puts his takes out there.
I put my takes out there. Yeah.
Got him.
I was still listening. Usually I put the headphones down. I turn everything off.
But you couldn't turn it off?
I couldn't turn it off. It was it was so fun to listen to.
It's like the old school. You're listening to the radio. You park in your driveway and you stay in your car. You're still listening. This is that for a new generation.
I still do that.
You'll find
car
out.
thing?
And by the way,
me too.
Look it up where you find your podcast, the Jack Mitchell podcast with El Kent. Kent was this close to being a political reporter.
Oh,
yeah,
and not an entertainment
story.
reporter.
Yeah, good stuff.
So yeah, that was great fun. We covered nothing that Jack and I talked about doing before the thing started.
Yeah,
That's how these things work.
Yeah,
exactly. So, which includes movies. Which today?
Oh, we're talking about a movie.
We're talking about a movie.
Oh, nice.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Nick, set it up. What's the Batman?
So I don't need to explain the Batman or Batman as a concept, but we jump in 2 years after the initial battening happened.
The battening.
I don't know what else to call it. And it
It's not a bad
shows
idea.
a very important transitional period in Batman's Batmaning, where he goes from being purely like 100% hatred based to transitioning to more to, hey, I need to protect these people and help them. And it took more of a noir mystery style instead of just full on 100% action. But it was also a very grounded and, in my opinion, realistic portrayal of what Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's kind of an emo recluse, and I dig.
So you're a big fan.
Big fan.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a solid setup.
It's a pretty solid setup. Now it is a long movie. And I remember hearing early on from some of the critiques, and Kent, you can tell me if I was hearing things wrong, that the first half of the movie was better than the second
I thought
half.
the first half on my first watch was better than the second half of the movie.
I was watching it through, and I had that little nugget in the back of my head, and I was like, all right, well, where does this thing turn? At least for me, this is just me. It didn't really turn.
Yeah.
I thought,
I felt the same
I thought
way.
both halves were fairly entertaining. What did you, when you watched it through the first time compared to the second time, Kent, was that what you noticed as well?
I thought it worked a lot better the second time.
Yep.
That it felt more like it didn't lose the thread 2 hours in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I'm with Josh I would say an hour and a half to or so in, it sort of wandered off into all these little subplots and kind of lost its momentum, I guess you could say, almost. But this time, watching it the second time, it becomes clear why those little subplots need to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore it doesn't feel like the second half was necessarily so much worse than the first half like it did the first time. I do think it's still, they could still cut 20 minutes out of the movie and not lose anything. But I think before, I thought you could just chop 20 minutes from like the 150 to the 210 mark and just chop it. And now I think if you were going to edit it, you would need to be more selective and, because there's some flab in there, like the scene at which when the car comes into the memorial service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before that, you remember he's talking to the woman that's running for mayor and all that. That didn't need to be in the movie,
Yeah, I agree.
It really didn't. And no, it's not a long time, but you cut 10 or 15, 30-second scenes, right? And you've cut 5 or 6 minutes out of your movie without doing any damage.
I would agree. The other thing about it, and as Nick pointed out in the recap, I'm not a huge fan of constantly rebooting these franchises, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it hasn't been that long since we got the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, which was kind of a beginning, it showed his
Batman Begins.
It showed his beginning, and then it carried through. And I didn't like to see the Spider-Man series rebooted. It wasn't necessary to me, but that's just me. I get it. Some people love the other stuff, and that's great. What I liked about how they decided to go about this, which is supposed to be, another reboot, is that instead of going back and retelling the origin story,
bingo,
we jump in a couple years later because we all pretty much kind of know what the origin story is of why Bruce Wayne wanted to become this vigilante in the first place.
People forget his parents died.
And there's also enough of that alluded to in this movie for people, for some reason, who don't know the origin story of Batman, that they would be able to pretty much gather right away. So I liked that, at least with this, we've fast forwarded through some of that, and we've at least tried to establish some other things like the Gotham City Underground, and of course these classic, Batman villains, of whom we see the Riddler, we see Penguin, and we get a tease at the end about Joker.
Yeah, I love on top of that it is, we're not seeing his parents get gunned down like we've seen that in so many of these movies. I like the way, Ken, as John just kind of said, that we learn about the family history with like news footage, flashbacks to when his dad was running. And also, I didn't realize this, but his mom is in Arkham. I had no idea. That is like a comic thing. And so like that you have this Arkham Asylum, and so she has ties to that. And then, of course, we know who his dad is. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more that this isn't, hey, let's retell you again. He's going to try on suits and he's going to work with gadgets. No, it's like, here he is, but he's still young and he's figuring all this stuff out. I thought that was a great choice.
I think you hit on one point right there that's really important, is this is a 30-year-old Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He is young. The others were not. Right?
Yep.
So it allows them to take the character in a different way, right? Where he and that's one thing. The other thing they did is essentially they returned him to the roots of the comic book character from the 30s and 40s, where he was more a detective than he was this guy who used all these gadgets and whatever to be a superhero, right? And that's where this takes it, and it plays then as a more film noir than it does classic superhero movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the part that to me is what sets this movie apart from most of let's put it this way. If I'm going to put a list of the good Batman movies together, you're going to put The Dark Knight up there, probably still the best one. This picture is pretty darn good. I liked it way better the second time than the first time. That never happens. So I must have been in the wrong mood when I saw it the first time. And then I think the Tim Burton Batman, the first one he did with Michael Keaton, is awfully
And Jack
good.
Nicholson. Yeah.
Those I would put those 1, 2, and 3 with The Dark Knight 1, and you can argue the other two.
It's pretty solid ranking.
Yeah.
I would probably lean just because I liked it because it was really kind of the first of the new age of comic book movies when the
89
when the 89 Batman came out. But to your point about the detective side of things, that's something that gets kind of lost in all of the other Batmans. It's more superhero driven, gadget driven than it is what Batman was intended to be, and that is more of a vigilante / detective. A lot of the gadgets were meant to help investigate. And so he's really, he's not a superhero because, of course, Batman has no superpowers, but he is a superhero detective, right? Where he's a detective plus because he's got the gadgets and he's works kind of outside the law and all these other things. And that was more interesting to me as you're trying to figure out, all right, where is the Riddler going? And that's what I wanted to go with next, Ken. I wanted to get your thoughts on what you thought of Paul Dano, who played the Riddler. And we're used to, when we see, Batman movies, that the bad guys are these cartoonish figures, with very pronounced features and clothing and gadgets. The Riddler here, dare I say, looks more like a cyber terrorist, right?
Very grounded.
So it's very much grounded, yet this dude is, and also while he's doing some terrible things, he's almost doing it. He's almost working as an anti-Batman. He's working as a vigilante, but from a different angle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and what it really is kind of a serial killer movie. Really. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's the serial killer, which sets that character up a way differently than the Riddler, who's this almost comic figure in the other movies, right? So he's really dark. Paul Dano said that he tried to model this character off the Zodiac killer.
Interesting.
That
makes a lot of sense, especially with glasses.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, he was the one. He was using real serial killer rather than something out of the comic book or something out of the previous movies. And I thought it was really effective. I thought that, and that's also, I think, what makes this movie sets it apart from virtually every other superhero, comic book, whatever you want to call it, movie, is that it's these bad guys are bad guys, and they may have the name, but they're not, somehow they don't have some superpower. They're not these ultra bizarre characters. the Penguin, for example, he doesn't wah, wah,
Yeah.
He's just a gangster.
Yeah,
He doesn't eat raw
just a
fish.
Yeah,
gangster.
he's like a number 2 mafia guy, right?
Yep. And that would be the unrecognizable Colin Farrell.
Incredible.
Which when I
blew my mind.
I knew he was in the movie, but I wasn't really sure who he was playing. And so as I was looking it up, I was like, oh my God, that is him.
There is one point, because I was specifically watching for this when I watched it again. The only time that I was able to go, that's Colin Farrell from looking at him, was when they shot through a window during right before the big car chase.
Okay.
When he turns like this, and all you can see is like his eyes, so all that fat makeup goes away,
right?
And then you go, that's Colin Farrell. But that's the only time I was able to spot him as Colin Farrell, so to speak.
By far, my favorite part of this movie are the small details that add up to a whole. From the way that the other police officers work with Batman or interact with Batman. They see him, they're like clearly freaked out by him, but they also know that he's under the protection of Commissioner Gordon. How he didn't pick up on the rug tool, the carpet tool, because why would he? He grew up rich. Why would he know what that is? And even the line that Zoe Kravitz had said to him, because he's like, oh, she sounds like she shouldn't have gotten mixed up with the bad people. And then she even said, you absolutely grew up rich. Some people don't have a choice. So the small details, and even when they found that video, and I stopped the movie to read the comments on that video, and it's such a dumb thing, but a lot of movies where they have something with internet comments, they don't feel natural. But these comments, they were scary, but they also felt, this is the type of comment I would expect to see on this kind of video. Like, these types of people who would watch this video would leave these kinds of comments. They did a very good job of just the small details that just make everything. I think they help in the larger picture.
Two things to add to that about, and this has more to do with the characters than the details you were talking about. One, they did the same thing here that Christopher Nolan did, and allowed the relationship between Batman and Gordon to go from when Gordon was a lieutenant, and it sets it up for, in a movie or two, he'll be the commissioner.
Right.
And this shows you how they trusted each other, helped each other, all of that, which is different than the standard presentation where they're already, Commissioner Gordon and Batman.
Yep.
And the inclusion of the Catwoman character before she's Catwoman, I thought was, the first time I saw it, I thought that was unnecessary. The second time I saw it, I thought, what this does is it introduces that sort of almost sexual relationship for him and her, obviously, and adds a different, it gives it more, I'm trying to think of the right word. It gives it more of a human context, right? Rather than once again being this made up superhero kind of guy. It shows him as, him and her both as people in their costumes, but just people.
Yeah, and Kent, along those lines, I think in a lot of the Batman movies, you could make an argument that Bruce Wayne is the much more interesting character than Batman, where Batman is almost kind of like he plays second fiddle. I rewatched Batman 89 last month sometime after I saw this, and that really jumped off the page. I think the Christian Bale version of the character, I think that version of the character they really like tapping into, and the billionaire playboy and all of those things, and maybe him as Batman played second shrift sometimes. In the last one, you can make an argument he's barely Batman. He's much more Bruce Wayne in that movie. Whereas this one, I thought that Batman was way more interesting than Bruce Wayne was. And I thought that was kind of refreshing to see him maybe portrayed that way.
And also, there's not that stark differentiation. This character, there's a lot of Batman that still turns up in Bruce Wayne and vice versa, right? Where in those other movies, it's like, this person changed 100%.
Well,
Right?
along the lines of what Nick said about small details, that this Batman, he takes off the mask and he still has the paint all over his face.
Right.
You know, I thought that's such a great choice. Like, that's what he would look like after he's been Batman all night long.
Or he barely changes his voice when he's Batman too, if
Exactly.
at all.
Yeah,
which
he's not,
I
swear to me.
I super love. That's been the thing I hate the most about any other Batman movie.
Yeah,
But
but
it's just too ridiculous.
Now you know the reason they did that in those other movies is they don't want it to seem like, you know, if you know somebody and you talk to them, whether they got the bat cowl
right,
or not,
and I
you're
get
gonna
that.
recognize them. That's why they did it. This movie, if you notice, Batman doesn't say that much to anybody except Gordon. Catwoman, and Alfred.
Right.
Basically.
And of course, Alfred already knows who he
And
is. so.
Alfred knows.
Yeah.
And so if Bruce Wayne wasn't, quote, friends with Gordon and Catwoman, they wouldn't know what he sounded like.
Which is why I think this take on Bruce Wayne works better than the philanthropist, everybody knows him, billionaire playboy one, because it allows more freedom, I think, for the Bruce Wayne character and the Batman character to.
Yeah, this one is much more of a recluse.
Right, but at the same time, now we haven't really talked about Robert Pattinson yet and his role as Batman. Personally, I think the Christian Bale version is the best. I like the way he played the role, and I like the way that character ran. I didn't dislike how, Pattinson's turn on this, but what did you all think? I mean, because he by the way, he just announced this week he is back for the sequel, so he's now the Batman for a while.
I going back to maybe what we said earlier, I like that, a younger version where he's making mistakes. I think that can be a really, fun kind of character quirk that maybe, I mean, certainly the Keaton ones didn't have, just because he'd been Batman for so long by that point in time. And even to a degree, like, I know it was called Batman Begins, but that version of Bruce Wayne and Batman seemed to be, figuring everything out at a pretty fast clip. So, I don't know, because there are some parts I think I did like the Bruce Wayne Christian Bale version a lot more than this one, but I think I liked this Batman more than his Batman, if that makes sense.
I like everything about this Batman better. The Batmobile, I
really like the Batmobile.
I think it's because this just seems more grounded. I could see that with the way the Batmobile looked, it looked like he just kind of, like he built the engine, but he just kind of welded a chassis or a body around the chassis of what he had built. And it looked like it was based off of a muscle car. You could still see the elements of realism within all the other more fanatical type of stuff.
On the whole casting deal, you know who was first associated with this movie?
No.
Ben Affleck. Can you imagine how bad it would have been with Ben Affleck in this role?
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to completely, rework it, just given, since this is a younger, trying to figure it out on the fly version, 2 years in version.
So I think Pattinson is quite good in it. And in part, it's because he doesn't go over he rarely goes over the top. There are a few times when he does, but most of the time he's relatively restrained. And when he's Bruce Wayne, he's completely almost withdrawn.
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to say you like the better Batman, and over here you like Christian Bale, who was much more forceful and character development type thing as Bruce Wayne, than Pattinson, who is playing this character who is withdrawn and doesn't quite know why. And it has everything to do with that childhood that he starts to actually figure out in the second half of the movie.
One thing we haven't mentioned I love the music in this movie. I
So
thought the
good.
main Batman
Absolutely.
theme was. I remember the night I left the theater, I actually pulled up that song and just listened to it on the way home. I know you hate Nirvana, John, but the first time I saw it in the Nirvana needle drop, it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't remember a Batman movie where they're using like actual songs. So I thought that the music in this movie throughout the whole thing and the main Batman theme that they kind of keep coming back to, variations of it, I thought was really kick-ass.
Fun fact about that song, when he recorded it, Kurt Cobain was actually on the floor laying down and they had it mic'd up and he was almost whispering and barely playing the guitar, which I think helped obviously add an effect to the song, but I think that's why it made it such a good song for the movie, because it's got that sad, melancholy. I wouldn't have picked another song. I think it's very good.
John,
And the score is
so good.
Remove that score and put in something more orchestral or even more electronic or something like that, and it ruins the tone of the movie. But that score really sets this tone along with that dark cinematography.
Yes.
And which raises the question, don't they own any light bulbs?
Exactly.
Not in Gotham City.
It was almost refreshing. There was one scene where Batman and Catwoman meet, and there's actual sunlight, and I was like, "Wow, that's refreshing." And listen, I'm not complaining that they weren't working in darkness and in the shadows. That's what Batman does. So I'm not saying it was overly dark, but it was kind of refreshing at times to see at least a little bit of sunlight, because Gotham City does see the sun every now and then.
I get it's very similar to Seattle, apparently. Lots of rain. Speaking of Nirvana.
They have bad football teams there too. Just kidding.
And the interesting thing I saw about the cinematographer and the lighting, you think, oh, it's dark because it's trying to fit the story. He was using it. He got the idea for the lighting from some classic 70s movies, including All the President's Men, which has a whole lot of stuff that goes on in a parking garage, much like when Batman and Catwoman or whoever meet on that, I don't know what it is, they look out over the city, whatever that is. And then The Godfather 2, which, if you remember it, it's a pretty dark, visually dark.
Yes, it is.
And that's where the inspiration for the lighting came from.
I thought it looked like, one more thing on that, I thought that it really looked like Seven, the David Fincher movie,
absolutely.
just especially with all the rain, a dark city, all of that type of stuff.
And speaking of Seven, that's a connection I made with the Riddler, right? He felt like something out of Seven.
Well, either way, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of these reboot after reboot after reboot, but I'll certainly be interested when the next one comes out. And at least for DC, who has always been perceived as trailing behind,
up and down, down.
The folks over at Marvel, maybe they've hit on something here and can build off of it and go from there.
Good movie. Good pick, Nick.
Very good. Thank you.
Good pick.
It is streaming on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's already there.
It's already there. So, Josh, you said we're going back to the 70s.
We are going indeed to the 70s in this one. I heard it come up, surprisingly to nobody, on a podcast recently. I've never seen it. From 1976. It is also available on HBO Max Network.
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
I've seen that clip a billion times, but I've never watched the movie. I heard somebody discussing it recently, said it still holds up, and it's been out for almost 50 years. And I was like, you know what? A broadcasting movie? Sign me up. Network it is.
Well, we'll look forward to that next week.
Awesome.
And you'll have plenty of time to watch it, Kent, because there's only like 2 NBA playoff games, and one of them's tonight.
One of them's tonight, and for those who want to see good basketball in the next week or two, we want to be rooting for Memphis. Because Memphis and Golden State will be a barn burner of a series. Minnesota and Golden State, get out the broom.
Do you think Kent?
No faith in Pat Bev. Come on, Kent.
What do you think will happen with the Mavs Sun series, given that Booker is, of course, still recovering, though he did play last night, and then Luka, he's of course been playing more games lately. But how do you think that series is going to play out? Because if we would have discussed it before the playoffs, we would have said, yeah, for sure, the Suns. Do you still feel that way?
Absolutely. 2 reasons. One, the Suns make you play at their game.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing Miami does, right? They play the same game every night, and it's deliberate, and they know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they just flat out have a better team. And Chris Paul, what was he last night? Wasn't he 13 for 13?
14 of 14.
For 14?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll get them to the conference finals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go beyond that, but that's how I see that one. The other great series, and this will be a great series, is Milwaukee and the Celtics.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, I assume the Celtics are favored, but you're going against the best player in basketball on a team that plays really well together. That's going to be, if that one doesn't go 7, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, and I think the winner of that one goes to the finals. I think they beat Miami or...
They're not going to beat my Heat now.
Oh,
nothing
okay.
beats the Heat.
All right, so we disagree. Yeah, because I like the winner of this to go to the finals.
Well, I can see why you would do that, but I'm on the Miami train.
It's your guns. You got to stick to them.
That's right. Kent Wogamat, Lincoln Journal-Star. Kent, thanks again. Network next week on HBO Max. And have a great weekend. And don't forget that Jack Mitchell podcast. You can get Kent's story. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun stuff in there, going back to his days in Little Curtis, Nebraska, and listening to worn out 45s.
There you go.
Kent, have a good one. Thanks.
Thanks, Kent. Thanks, guys.
There he is, Kent Wogamat of the Lincoln Journal-Star, and we will be back. Got some gambling news coming up for you. Speaking of Jack Mitchell, he'll really enjoy this because he's going to have a new place to go and bet that he can't do here in Nebraska. But for an interesting reason. That's next. And Michael Severe to join us. Talk about the NFL draft on 1620 The Zone.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharpen betting in the morning.
Again, what did Glenn Taylor do to the Chickens that you would be so outraged that you're into disrupting an NBA basketball game, but you go as far to dress as an NBA official, as the lady did, that got absolutely hammered by the security guard on Saturday night, and she deserved to get pummeled into the floor.
Hey, how did they know?
For more, tune in every day to 1620 AM or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Strong to severe storms possible tonight with damaging wind gusts, large size hail, and isolated tornado being the 3 major threats we will be tracking. Keep yourself weather aware. By tonight, we're looking at temperatures cooling into the lower 50s, only a high of 59 with mostly cloudy skies for your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Looks like that road work on the southbound JFK at Cornhusker has the right lane closed, and it's got traffic slowed down all the way back to Q Street. So avoid that area if you can. An earlier wreck on 40th at Ames is in cleanup stages, still causing a little bit of a delay through there. Traffic lights still malfunctioning at 204th and Harrison. And then expect delays on eastbound I-80 starting at about 84th going to 60th, and delays on eastbound L Street from I-80 to about 90th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Superior Honda of Omaha.
Superior Honda of Omaha has more than 150 quality pre-owned vehicles, with most priced thousands below market value. Get the superior price in minutes at HondaofOmaha.com. That's HondaofOmaha.com.
It's the final weekend to save at 42 Degrees on the largest selection of glass, silicone, water, and metal pipes, featuring American companies like C2, Zong, Alien Flower, and more. When it comes to vaporizers, we have PAX, Da Vinci, and Luca, to name a few, at up to 50% off, including free of charge the most knowledgeable and friendly staff to make your shopping experience a pleasure. So before it's too late, hurry down to 42 Degrees and save at The Source by your mom's house.
Hey guys, spring is here and the honeydew list has begun. If you're getting ready to clean up your yard, Lanahaw is your one stop for all landscape needs. Buy your mulch at Lanahaw Nurseries. Best quality at the best price. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
The zoo is a great place to visit, but did you know it's also a great place to work? Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium is currently hiring for a variety of positions, and we think you'll love trying something new. You can spend the day meeting guests, talking to families, and having full access to walk and explore Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium. To learn more or apply, visit omahazoo.com/work here.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
OSI Oakland Foods wants you. OSI Oakland offers competitive pay, benefits, including vacation, medical, dental, vision, 401k, a safe work environment, a $1,500 sign-on bonus, a $1,500 referral bonus, and there's an attendance incentive. OSI offers transportation to and from their plant from Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Atlantic. OSI Oakland is hiring for all shifts, including third shift maintenance at up to $25 an hour and production up to $20 an hour. Apply at osigroup.com/careers or at their plant Monday through Friday for on-the-spot interviews. OSI Oakland is an equal opportunity employer. Veterans welcome.
If you want to be the smartest guy in the room or don't get enough sports coverage from 6A to 6B, stop by the After Hours Lounge. Jimmy Allen and Rob Love cover all things Huskers, Blue Jays, Mavs, Reavers, and high school sports from 6 to 8 p.m. every Tuesday through Friday. You can also stop by from 8 to 10 on Saturday mornings to hear the best info in regards to recruiting. Want a little extra smoke or want to find out who to bet on this weekend? Check out After Hours every Saturday. It's brought to you by Mr. Rescue Roadside Assistance at Iowa Western Community College.
Hey everyone, it's John with Saul's. Great jewelry is always in fashion, and we have it all at Saul's. From diamond bracelets to rings to earrings and those one-of-a-kind gold pieces that you can't find anywhere else, and so much more. Smart shoppers start here at Saul's.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. Now, Unsportsmanlike Conduct
Unsportsmanlike Conduct, you better ask it.
with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
Bottom of the seventh in Cincinnati, Creighton 5, Xavier 4. Top of the fourth in Lincoln, Huskers, Hawkeyes, scoreless. Nebraska had a bases loaded inning, but Adam Mazur, their starter for Iowa, shut the door on Big Red.
Couple comments off our interview with Kent about the Batman. This one on YouTube made me laugh very hard. Steve says, I saw half of the Batman when I was getting my haircut on Thursday, to which Taylor then responded, that's a long haircut, Steve. Yeah, that's an hour and a half haircut right there. Let's see. Aaron writes in, I agree with you. That song was awesome and you hear it a few times. I also like the first half better than the second. I love the Riddler until he just kind of gave up. I think he wanted his followers to finish, but I thought he just kind of quit and they could have done so much more. And talking about the darkness, it was really dark, like the second to last episode of Game of Thrones. You had to be in a dark room to see it well. Yeah, that's one where you honestly, if you've not watched the movie yet, we all recommend it, find whatever version of television you have and Google how to calibrate insert TV here, because this is one where you want to make sure that you have all your colors set up properly, or else there are going to be some scenes. I mean, my TV set up pretty well and it was still tough at times. Seeing it in theaters, though, pretty cool. Highly recommend.
I watched it in the dark during a thunderstorm, which I think set the tone. It was a good vibe.
The vibe?
It was a good vibe. You're going to watch the Batman do it when it rains.
There you go.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
Well, add another state to the growing list of states that are on the cusp of starting sports betting.
Is it Nebraska?
No. Yeah, we voted on this thing a year and a half ago.
Yeah, almost 2 years now. Come on, folks.
It's a year and a half. And I realize some of these things take time, and certainly the horse tracks are working on building their casinos. But the legislature's dragging their feet with
What?
making the rules and all this other stuff. And of course, you got
Feet
our,
dragging.
our good friend Patty Pansing Pearl Clutcher. Who,
yeah.
I'll make sure they can't bet on the Huskers playing in Lincoln.
What if they boo?
But in Kansas, they are closing in on legalizing sports betting. Their Senate narrowly approved the policy early this morning. Now, the bill still needs approval from the governor, but she has been supportive of the policy. It would allow residents to use cell phone and computer apps to bet on sporting events or place bets via existing casinos. So it sounds like Iowa, where you can bet normally, where you can get an app and you can
Very
be in a state
legal and
you
very
can bet on it,
cool.
or you can go to the casino if you want.
Iowa.
Either way.
Iowa.
Now, what's interesting is what Kansas plans to do with the money that they get. The state would impose a 10% tax on each bet. Of the revenue Kansas receives, 80% would be funneled into a special fund that the state would use to lure sports teams. Remember a few weeks ago, we told you about how the Chiefs might be looking into a replacement for Arrowhead Stadium, and one of the locations was in Kansas City, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kansas might be using gambling money to help incentivize the Chiefs to move to the other side of the Kansas-Missouri border.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And smart. If this is something that they're realistically considering, if this is not just, them posturing to get a new stadium on their side, which who knows, it still might be. It's an incredible idea. It's a smart idea.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's what we always talk about. Why should you legalize this? Well, there are benefits to it. There are benefits for your state. Everyone always looks at the negatives. They're negative boys. This is a positive.
Well,
Big
it's
positive.
It's more tax revenue.
It's more tax revenue.
I mean, I don't remember if Iowa specifically earmarks any of their gambling proceeds, or if it just goes into the general fund. I don't remember that off the top of my head. I don't think anyway that Nebraska's is going to be earmarked for anything specific. It could be, if and when it ever gets started. But yeah, Kansas is going to try to turn theirs around and lure sports teams. And it says in the article, major sports teams, but I mean, outside of the Chiefs, the Royals are planning on moving, but they're looking at building a stadium downtown.
Yeah. They still want to stay on that side of the river.
So I'd be rather fascinated to see what happens. Maybe they're trying to lure the Huskers down into Kansas.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun. Creighton.
Husker football.
Creighton. Hey, Nebraska, Kansas City, Kansas. By the way, speaking of Nebraska football, couple new players into the transfer portal: Chris Walker, defensive lineman, and Damian Jackson.
All right, so we've added a couple.
Mm-hmm. The Jackson, of course, a walk-on, so that will not free up a scholarship spot. And earlier,
that's true.
Have
Good
we mentioned
point.
this on the show today? Latrell Neville, he entered it earlier today.
No, I didn't even see this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that probably happened when you were driving. Yeah, so Latrell Neville, he entered the transfer portal, and he was a member of the class last year, the 2021 class, 6'4", 195. So he entered the transfer portal as well, and I know he's picked up at least one offer since.
And I thought I saw this. I want to double check and make sure, but I believe Mr. Mathis has announced what time he plans to announce his decision.
3:00 Central tomorrow.
So everyone will be watching their phones.
That's why
or
there's
their
no
computers.
NBA. They're worried about that.
I'm sure the NBA is really worried about
They
that.
are.
Why is O'Shawn going to leave his name in the NBA draft?
Maybe he will. Who knows? Who knows?
All right. So there it is. Some of the latest around Husker football. So they still need to pair a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
So down 2, right? Scholarship players.
As of today?
Right.
Yes.
That means you need at least 2 more. You need one more to get to 85, and then one more after that to account for the potential Mr. Mathis.
Yeah, if we're doing our math correctly, I believe that you are right.
You're doing your Mathis correctly.
Because it was 88, according to the World Herald, as of yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So you lose 2 scholarship guys, 86. you'd need to do 2 more to have room for Mathis, assuming that he comes over.
Yeah.
So still time, folks. Still time. I saw Joel Goodman covers college basketball. I believe said how the procedure will go. Players have to provide written notice to their current school by 11:59 p.m. on May 1st.
Oh, so it's actually going into May 2nd, basically, right?
Yeah,
so Sunday night.
11:59 p.m. Sunday night in order to be eligible. The compliance department then has 2 days after that to actually enter the player into the portal. So if someone didn't announce that they were entering but did, theoretically, we could hear about it 2 days later when the school actually posts it.
And by the way, talking about the math, you just mentioned where you think Nebraska is. Sean Callahan says that he has Nebraska at 83 players right now on their scholarship. So there's
okay. Well, maybe the World Herald's numbers are a little behind.
Mm-hmm.
All
So there
right.
you go.
So Sean's going 83.
83.
I'll double check the World Herald site. Maybe they did update theirs, and I missed something earlier on. So there you go. Latest from that. Still to come. We're going to talk some NFL draft, and it's One Beer Friday. Get in those picks. Show us what you're enjoying this weekend. Hashtag One Beer Friday on Twitter and send them into the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620. But first, a quick word from my friends at Brookside Medical Clinic. You know, the ads that talk about the blue pill, you know, the promises are usually true. The blue pill does work for many men who have erectile dysfunction. But what you don't talk about that often is the side effects and the fact that you do have to time every intimate moment to the taking of a pill. Well, what have I told you? There is a way non-surgically and non-invasively to fix the problem and maybe make it a permanent fix so things work more naturally. Well, that's what they do at Brookside with the advanced wave technology, which has been shown by Cambridge University to regrow and restore blood vessels to improve blood flow and restore a normal erectile function. Right now, call them at 402-671-7777, and you can get a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that is sure to work in the bedroom. That's right now. If you call Brookside Medical at 402-671-7777. No more pills, natural function, back to yourself. Brookside Medical, 402-671-7777.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover. Or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dave Austed from Austed's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Austed's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website, make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Austed's.
Pandemic-impacted homeowners may be at risk of losing their homes, which is why the state of Nebraska is providing relief through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $30,000 in assistance for past due mortgage payments, past due real estate taxes, HOA dues, and homeowners or flood insurance. Funds will be distributed until they run out, and they do not need to be paid back. View qualifications and apply today at NebraskaHAF.com. That's NebraskaHAF.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style, and they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700. Join Blur Parties at Hilton Omaha this June as we host a premier college baseball championship tailgate. Experience an all-inclusive full bar and buffet, TV, music, and a variety of tailgate games. Book a corporate tailgate event or just hang out with friends. The best part is we're located on the south side of Charles Schwab Field at the Hilton Omaha. Visit blurparties.com to buy tickets or to find out about sponsorship opportunities. That's blurparties.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Mark your calendar and plan to do good on May 17th, 18th, and 19th for Share Omaha's Do Good Days presented by FNBO. You can choose from more than 600 local nonprofits to support with money, wish list items, and volunteer opportunities. Ready to give now? Share Omaha is here 365 days a year. Learn more about how you can get involved with your favorite causes during Do Good Days and all year long at shareomaha.org.
Your exclusive home for Royals baseball in Omaha.
Right up the middle, base hit, and the Royals are a winner. 1620,
The Zone.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Five headed to the 8th in Cincinnati. Creighton and Xavier 1-0 Iowa on a solo home run. They're going to the bottom of the 4th in Lincoln. Michael Severe will join us here in a few minutes. We're going to talk some NFL draft. Yesterday at around this time, Josh discovered on the FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code 1620.
Bingo.
That Nebraska is the number 2 team in the West in division winning odds. Wisconsin plus 185, Nebraska plus 250, Purdue plus 370, Iowa plus 550, Minnesota plus 900, Illinois plus 3,300, Northwestern plus 7,500. Might be worth $1 on Northwestern. Just saying, just $1.
Just $1.
We asked you a poll question today, J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620. Which statement best describes your feelings on this matter? Right now, with 44% of the vote, oh no, not again, hashtag hype, is leading with LOL at 34%.
Wow, you jerk.
13% did O'Shawn Mathis commit? And 9%, damn right, hashtag GBR.
Husker Kool-Aid Man on Twitter.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear what this is going to say.
Says free money taking Nebraska. How about that? He says FanDuel is giving away money. Actually, you can get your first bet up to $1,000 with that promo code 1620.
That's true. You can. Mm-hmm. We at the same time that we discovered this, we were coming up with our projections to what we think Vegas is going to do in terms of the win total.
I do want to alter mine.
I want to bump mine up too.
Okay.
Should we go?
Yeah, let's just fix it. So yesterday you had 6.5. I had 6.
Yeah. I'm going to
go a full win. I'm going to go to 7.
I'm going to 7 too.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, look, 7 too.
They would not have the number that low if they're going to have them second best in the division, right? Those two things just wouldn't go in concert together. Honestly, man, if that's the case, I just expect a lot of underbets. That's why I'm still a little like gun shy on this, but I'm going to stick with 7, even though I thought all offseason long it would have been 6. I thought all offseason long it would have been 6, and I explained my rationale yesterday. 6.5, I thought would get too much on the under, because if you're betting the over, I know it's obvious, but that means you're expecting 7 and 5, more than doubling the win total last year.
Right.
I decided not to go 5.5 because I thought you'd have a lot of overbetters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I settled on the 6. I thought it was a nice middle.
What
number.
will be interesting to see is where the juice lies if it is at 7. I'm assuming that the under would have the juice.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know if it would be as heavy as Ohio State. Yesterday we told you that the actual odds at WinBet, the line is Ohio State 10.5 wins, but in order to win on the over, it's minus 250. So it's a heavy favorite to the over, which means you have to bet $250 to win $100 to bet on Ohio State getting to 11 or 12 regular season wins.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not surprise me if the line was up at 7. I don't know if it would be that heavy, minus 250 on the under, but I would expect that the under would be the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
In such a scenario.
Yeah, one person responded, this makes no sense. I think that they will be improved but not by that much. They know Husker fans are loyal and bet with their heart. They are betting on Husker fans laying that money down.
And they certainly could be. I would love to know. I would love to know what the handle has been on Nebraska win bets the last few years, and if the casinos have come out ahead, way ahead, or if they were behind. Or maybe they broke even. Who knows? We're close to breaking even. Because it seems like last year especially, a lot of people were hammering the under. Or at least it felt that way.
See, and that's the
thing.
thing.
Of course, it came in well under.
Way under. Yeah, it's interesting because locally we have our own bubble of how people are, and I think naturally most fans are going to want to bet the over. It's more fun, and you like backing your team. But where has it been at nationally? Because that's I don't even know. That's another thing I'd love to know. What's the breakdown of where the bets are coming from? And I almost want to look at this black market, not and then actual real sports betting. And so I'd love to know that. Juice says, just stay out of last place, please. And then a few people had comments like this. Minnesota at plus 900 might get me to drive down to Iowa for some legal sports betting. I saw some people say that about them and about Iowa. Kind of surprised. Adam, Minnesota plus 900 and Iowa at plus 500 seem like the best value plays.
It does.
Yeah, because there was an Iowa emailer last night who didn't realize that we were just doing an exercise on what we thought the total would be at our prediction. And I responded and let him know because he was like, are you guys serious? And gave all these reasons. It's like, look, you make solid arguments. Now, I still think there will be a little regression with the Hawkeyes, but that's just mainly because of how they won a lot of those games last year. And I just don't know if that can, happen again. It's tough. It's tough to win a lot of games when you're, especially early, they were built so much on turnovers. I just don't know if that can be a thing again for a second straight year, but maybe it can.
The weekend is upon us. One Beer Friday is next. And why not celebrate with someone who loves beer?
He loves beer more than anybody I know.
Oh, yeah. Big beer guy, but even bigger NFL draft guy. Yes. The soul of 1620 The Zone and this program, Michael Severe, will join us next. You just got to be itching for his draft takes.
Oh, yeah.
This is his favorite sporting event of the year. And it's not even a sport. It's just picking people. But we wanted to get Michael's thoughts on the first round of what we might be able to expect tonight. NFL draft will be resuming here. Do they start at 6 or is it 7 again? I think it might be 7 again.
Yeah, they had the countdown going on. It starts at 6.
Well, while Josh is looking that up, I'm going to tell you that 1620 The Zone wants to help you celebrate Mother's Day by showing off the hot moms in your life.
I don't like that this read is happening before Michael.
Post your favorite picture of your hot mom for a chance to win $100. The winner will be drawn next Thursday. So post your picture. We'll draw at random, and someone's winning $100 for their hot mom. Details are at 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, This is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Looks like that road work on the southbound JFK at Cornhusker has the right lane closed, and it's got traffic slowed down all the way back to Q Street. So avoid that area if you can. An earlier wreck on 40th at Ames is in cleanup stages, still causing a little bit of a delay through there. Traffic lights still malfunctioning at 204th and Harrison. And then expect delays on eastbound I-80 starting at about 84th going to 60th, and delays on eastbound L Street from I-80 to about 90th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahan Nurseries.
Shop Lanahan Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahan Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Email Unsportsmanlike Conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work toward your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just one day left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just one day left.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hi again, everybody. Kent Pavelka, courtside, getting ready for this year's roofing season from the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard, America's leading installer of Da Vinci roofs and roofs of all styles. We're expecting another year filled with good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard, providing the highest level of customer service with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
OSI Oakland Foods wants you. OSI Oakland offers competitive pay, benefits, including vacation, medical, dental, vision, 401k, a safe work environment, a $1,500 sign-on bonus, a $1,500 referral bonus, and there's an attendance incentive. OSI offers transportation to and from their plant from Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Atlantic. OSI Oakland is hiring for all shifts, including third shift maintenance at up to $25 an hour and production up to $20 an hour. Apply at osigroup.com/careers or at their plant Monday through Friday for on-the-spot interviews. OSI Oakland is an equal opportunity employer. Veterans welcome.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
It'd be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro.
Throw.
From your moms.
I drank beer with my friends. Sometimes I had too many beers. I liked beer. I still like beer. Had beers, have some beers. One beer, drink beer, drinks beer, drank beer, and drinking beer.
Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know, but I had one beer.
Friday!
You probably have beer center each week. Ralph Club, biggest contributor. Hammer for that?
I like beer. I don't know if you like beer, Senator, or not. What do you like to drink?
Next week.
I had one beer Friday. Yeehaw!
Hanging out and having some beers with friends, which I gladly do and which I fully embrace.
Well, you think it was... Nope, there was one beer. Friday!
Welcome to the weekend, everyone. One Beer Friday brought to you by 1620 The Beer. Make sure you get your picks in. You know, there might be those of you who've been waiting outside for an event to happen, and then the event doesn't happen, and you're looking for something to do. Well, maybe crack open a cold one. Or maybe you've already cracked open several cold ones. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. All I'm here to say is it is One Beer Friday, brought to you by 1620 The Beer.
I'm a water boy today because I'm running on Sunday. Where's your guys' beer? What's going on over here?
I'm running this Sunday, too.
That's not true. You hate running.
Solidarity
That's
for
true.
Josh.
Wow,
That's
you guys
true.
don't have to do this.
Well, it's actually solidarity for our next guest. It's
Oh,
Michael Severe. You know, we wanted to save all the beer for him because we know, Michael, how much you love a tall, cold, frosty one.
June 8th, 2002. That was my last taste of beer.
Wow, 20 years.
Do you remember
20
what
years
kind
on
it
June
was?
8th, yep.
You remember what kind it was?
It was horrible, like most. I was watching Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson fight, living room of my wife's house, the little bungalow that we rent now, and her best friend's now ex-husband did the Omaha. Oh, come on, drink with me. Hey, have a beer. Come on, it's just beer. Have a beer for like an hour, and finally I took the beer from him, and I drank a couple sips of it, and that was the last of beer I ever had, or alcohol for that matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's clean.
Well, I remember, Michael, I had a teacher in high school who, by the time that I met him, was a vegetarian. And one time we were driving, because he was our cross-country coach, and we were driving back to Omaha, and we just got into the discussion of why he became a vegetarian and what was that like. And somebody asked him, so what was the last thing that you had?
Yeah.
And he said it was, I don't remember where from, but it was like a breakfast sandwich, like a sausage breakfast sandwich from a fast food spot. He said he was driving, he took a bite, he decided he wanted to change his life, he threw it out the window, and it's like, damn, man, you wasted your last piece of meat on a breakfast sandwich from a fast food joint. I would have had like a ribeye or something.
Yeah, I can never be a vegetarian except for 40 days during Lent, but the beer part was easy. I never liked the taste of it. I was always, growing up in New Orleans, we drink a lot of daiquiris, start when you're about 10 years old. And I started dating a girl who was a wine vendor for a while. And so I got into the story of wine and collected the Spectator and got into that for a while. And then I just started drinking lots of vodka and rum to the point where I, drank way too much of it.
Well, we brought Michael on because we know how much he loves the NFL draft. Now, usually, Michael, you're like off with friends. You go to other places and watch the draft and get together. You're going through withdrawals?
This is weird. Okay, so last night we did a Zoom with the 5 or 6 guys that we normally get together that we go to places with to watch the draft. I'm gonna be honest as I can with you. Last Thursday, I thought the draft was that day. I did not even know. Like, I follow the players. I'm not watching the tape and crushing it like I was before. I didn't do a mock draft for the first time since 1986, my junior year of high school. My life has really changed. Again, I follow it, but not to the level of obsession that I was following it. And let me tell you, it was the most relaxed draft I have had since I can remember. It was so awesome. Just sit there, watch it, not really have any investment in like predictions or anything. I mean, I made a couple lists of top wide receivers and offensive linemen because I'm still a little obsessed. But to not be like completely involved in it was refreshing, incredibly refreshing.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, I thought the draft was last week. Literally was ready, watched the draft last week and was like, oh, wrong day. My fault.
Michael, do you think was that made easier given this year's draft? Because for a lot of people that I follow and read, the interest did seem less this year than it is for most years, just given, maybe the lack of really good quarterbacks or storylines, et cetera.
No, that's never been a big part for me. Just watching the tape and trying to figure out who's going to be good, just in my own mind, has always been kind of I was never pressured to have to do it. I did it. because I really enjoyed it. I just don't necessarily, I don't know how to explain it, but the grind of what it was got to the point where it was a lot of pressure I put on myself for whatever reason. And it didn't matter if it was last year with 5 quarterbacks or 1999 with 5 quarterbacks or 3 top quarterbacks or no quarterback. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It's just a different time right now for me, weirdly.
So what would I almost have to ask, what would the old Michael Severe, who did all the draft homework, think of Trayvon Walker, and what would the new Michael Severe think of Trayvon Walker? I mean, his rapid.
I feel the same way. I would have felt either way. So here's, it's just funny. It was I want to say it was December or January. There's a guy that I follow online who's really good. He's really into the analytics of going through all the mock drafts that are posted, and then he has like his own formula where he figures out who should be the top pick. Now, this is late December, early January. Matthew Freeman is his name. Matthew Freeman had Trayvon Walker as his number 1 pick. So it wasn't like this guy really literally came from nowhere. It's just that the other names got so much bigger, and Aiden Hutchinson seemed like so much of a lock that Walker started surprising people because of his lack of production. But he was there. He was on the minds of draftniks going all the way back to the end of last season.
So did you like the pick?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, if it was me, because of how marketable Hutchinson is, he's essentially J.J. Watt before J.J. Watt got to the point where everything was about J.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hutchinson is right now. You know, family's been playing the sport, got a great, I hate the word, but he's got a great motor, got good bend, he's strong, he's going to be good, he's solid. The thing is, it's like, what do you want? We always joke, and you know, you guys know this. Sip eats at Olive Garden because of why? Because he knows that he's going to get the same thing. It's going to be average. It's not going to ever be great. It's never going to be horrible. It's going to be average. So you can either draft with the idea of going, I'm going to go safe, like a Pickett at quarterback, or you go and say, I'm going for the highest possible quality I can get, and you take a chance on a Malik Willis. That's what this choice was. Walker has the opportunity to be Aldon Smith at his best with the Niners, right? Aiden Hutchinson's always going to be solid. I don't think he has the ability to be as good as Walker could be in a given year if everything falls together. But they decided not to go safe, which I probably would have done. I would have gone safe with Hutchinson, and they went for the moon. And what do they have to lose? They're the freaking Jaguars. What do they have to lose? They suck. You know?
Yeah.
So do what you can do to take the biggest shot. And they took the biggest shot they could. I understand it.
Michael, maybe similar conversation, but in different ways with Kayvon Thibodeau, given the discussion surrounding him, of course, isn't about his talent, isn't about his ability. It's about what he says and maybe his goals for being something beyond a football player. I wonder how you view him in terms of that safe versus unsafe, and what do you think the Giants were able to get drafting him last night? It's
funny because David and I were talking about this a while ago going into the 2021 season, and there was this great stat. He had a 50% missed tackle rate. Every other chance he had to make a tackle coming off of his best season, he missed the tackle. Not saying he's not a good pass rusher or that he can do some things that are special, but in terms of him being this locked first overall pick, like it was talked about for so long, in my mind, he never was that. He's got a lot of holes in his game. Then you throw on the fact that he's an NFT expert and he's a crypto expert. I understand why some people will be like, you know what? Can I just get a guy who really loves football? I get that. In the right system, playing the right amount of plays, because by the way, he does get winded. I think because he's so muscular that he burns a lot of oxygen, and that's why he doesn't play as many good plays in a row as he should. But I think that in the right system, with the right rotation, he can be a very, very good player. If he can concentrate on football, which I think a lot of the general managers out there doubted he could. Now, he's in the perfect place. He's in, obviously, New Jersey with the Giants, but he's outside of New York. There's no better place to be if you're a businessman and you want to sell yourself than New York City. So he's in the perfect spot. He's got a lot of upside. I really think he does. But he never was, for me, the lock number 1 overall guy because there's so many question marks about his game.
I almost feel, Michael, that we're living in bizarro world because we just equate everything the Jets do with ineptitude.
Yeah.
They had 3 picks. But I almost feel like for one of the first times in a long time, they did a lot of good things.
They crushed it.
Yeah.
They crushed it. I mean, they got the best cornerback in the draft, in my opinion. Listen, how often do you look up a stat and in the end it says this guy was the very best to ever do this? It never happens, right? I mean, it just doesn't. Sauce Gardner had, in terms of balls thrown at him, passes defended, and completions, literally the best cornerback season we've ever seen. No touchdowns given up, like a 13% completion rate. He was incredible. The fact that he went behind Stingley is all about upside again. The upside of Stingley based off of his freshman year is incredible. So Houston took a chance. What do they have to lose? But Sauce Gardner's the best corner in the draft. Garrett Wilson wasn't my number one wide receiver because I thought Drake London, because of his size and, again, upside, was. I also like the idea of Jamison Williams as a healthy guy because of his speed. But in terms of being solid, Garrett Wilson is. So they did that. And then they get a steal because I don't think anybody thought the kid from Florida State was going to drop. I don't think so. Everything I saw was his average draft position was like 8 to 12, right?
Yep.
So you'd never think you'd have another chance. Great job by the Jets to come back in the first round and take Jermaine Johnson. Good job for them. They had a great – the Giants, and if Brown stays healthy, then the Eagles. You could say all three of them won day one, in my opinion.
Michael, you mentioned Garrett Wilson, you mentioned Jamison Williams, and of course, sandwiched in between them was Chris Olave. Really cool, given, of course, that all three of those guys were on the same team, not that long ago. Which of those three guys do you like the most?
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. If you have a really solid number one, like, for example, if Michael Thomas is the Michael Thomas he was 2 years ago, or going back to the year he was the offensive player of the year, then I love the idea of getting a guy like Olave, who's a really good route runner, isn't very physical, but can take the top off the defense and can get open. I like him as a number two to Michael Thomas. But if you ask me for a guy who can be a number one, I think Drake London can be a number one. I think he's the guy that if you line him up, he's physically, he can handle people, route running. He's athletic enough to do all those things. I think he could be the number one. Garrett Wilson is kind of in between all of that. The guy who's got the most potential to be incredible is Williams, because Williams, his speed overall and what he does to people, putting them on his heels, is like Tyreek Hill, but he's taller than Tyreek Hill. He's stronger than Tyreek Hill. It's literally, he's completely healthy from the ACL. I don't think there's a ceiling for him. He's that talented. That's the guy I thought the Saints were moving up to get. Honest, I was hoping it wasn't a quarterback. That scared me for a second. And then I thought, they moved up for Jamison Williams. And then they should have been. I knew it should have been Olave, because that's the guy who the Saints have been looking at the entire time from last year. So they never hit it. They went up and got the guy they've been always wanting to get. So I think all five. I'm going to throw in Treylon Burks. I think all five of those guys can be very, very good. I think the system they're in, if they're a one or a two, will define how great they are.
2022, the year of the wide receiver. I mean, not only
again,
seriously,
we've had four of these in the last 6 years.
Yeah,
we keep having the year of the wide receiver.
Exactly,
that's the position of love.
Now the difference is this year you've got so many big names moving teams. We had plenty of them in the offseason, and then yesterday, within 20 minutes, you get the A.J. Brown trade to Philly and the Hollywood Brown trade to Arizona. Is there a trade you like better than the other? Are they both good fits for where they're going? And what'd you think of the return for the teams that gave them up?
Let me tell you this. It was a funny situation because, three of the guys, everybody on the Zoom with me, they're Eagle fans. Everybody, all those guys are Philly fans. And so we're sitting there and you see the Eagles draft position move, so something happened. And then you see the report that it's A.J. Brown. And the excitement level of the Philly guys was really high. Right. And then I said, it's weird because I would rather, at the cost and youth, have Burks as my future, because I think he can be kind of like A.J. Brown with the Deebo Samuel mixed in. And then they go from being very excited, the Philly guys, to hearing that he's getting paid $25 million a year or $57 million guaranteed. Then Burks goes like 2 seconds later, and they comp him to A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel, which we had just said. I just told them. And I'm like, is it a great trade to put that kind of money on your books for a guy who's had 5 or 6 different nagging injuries over the course of the last 2 years? Or would you rather have the young guy on the rookie contract. So as much as I think the Eagles are good to go out and get for the first time a number one since they had T.O., I worry if it's going to backfire because of how much you're spending on a guy who can be injured. I think Marquise Brown was a steal. I'm surprised by that. I think his best football is still ahead of him. He was playing with a quarterback that at times can't hit the water from a boat. Okay, that's what he was playing with. And so anywhere else he goes, he's going to have a quarterback who's got a better chance to get him the ball 20 yards down the field, especially outside the hash mark. So I think that was a steal. But if A.J. Brown is healthy, as good as he is, the Eagles have a pretty good core of wide receivers right now. If their quarterback, who also at times can't hit anybody the water from a boat, can actually figure out what he's doing.
Sticking in that division, how should I feel about the Tyler Smith draft pick?
Tyler Smith is not a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. That's what I said when he was drafted. I was surprised. Now, I understand there was a run. So this happens a lot, right? You have a run on a position, and then all of a sudden you've got to kind of decide, am I going to move the guy that I like up the board because he's my value, or am I going to say I'm going to trade back, get something extra, or simply wait? Tyler Smith is a mid-second round pick, late second round in my mind, based off of who he is. But if the Cowboys love him that much and they really believe that he is a first-round talent, then it doesn't matter where you go. The only difference is they probably could have got something more like maybe a third and a fourth to move back. I personally don't like where he was drafted. Not saying he's not a good player. What the Patriots did, same thing. Not saying that kid's not a good player, but where you took him isn't a great value. So in the end, 3 years from now, if Tyler Smith is, he's all pro, it's not going to matter where he got drafted, right?
Sure.
Right now, we look at it and go, that wasn't a great value getting a guy who's a mid to late second round pick.
Thing about Strange, though, you mentioned Cole Strange, who went to the Patriots, is most people had him on their draft boards in like the 70s, and they get him, in the 20s.
Yeah, well, we played the reaction from the Rams earlier.
That was hilarious.
Oh, man.
They looked at him at 101.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's what he does. I followed a team, obviously the Saints, who did this for years. The Saints every single year would draft one or two players who didn't even go to the combine, right? So they weren't one of the top 200 and whatever 70 guys that went to the combine. And they would do that all the time. And the majority of the time, the players end up being pretty good players. They're very good at scouting, like the Patriots are most times, unless it's a wide receiver. They're really good at scouting. And they really like this guy. I get it. Maybe they heard that maybe somebody else was going to come up. Or Bill Belichick doesn't care at this point. He's like, look, I'm a genius. I've proven myself. Why disrespect me? I know what I'm doing. I'm going to take Cole Strange here. But again, a team that trades back every single year chose not to trade back and take a guy maybe 40, 50 positions higher than most people had him rated. That's kind of weird for me. But hey, everybody says that he is the ultimate coach's player. When coaches watch his tape, they absolutely love him. So that's what you read about him. So that's probably why Belichick loved him so much.
Michael, when I've listened to people around here talk about Nebraska players getting drafted, 4 or 5 is like the numbers that I think that I have heard, and I don't even know if I've heard any other numbers. Where are you at expecting that, looking ahead to tonight potentially, and then certainly tomorrow?
Can you ask that question one more time? It buzzed. My phone buzzed the other one, and it completely threw me off.
No, you're good. How many Huskers? I'll just boil it down. How many Huskers do you think get drafted?
Oh, well, I think today we're going to get 2. I think both Juergens and Cam Taylor-Britt both go. Today is second and third round. I think Taylor-Britt is the guy that goes second. He's probably out of the corners. There were only this year, good year for Cam Taylor-Britt. There were really only 4 or 5 corners I could legitimately say that I thought confidently were better than Cam Taylor-Britt. So that's great for him. After yesterday, that means he's probably the next second or third guy to go. And then in terms of centers, it's funny because if you're only a center, you could be one of the best centers of all time. But when you're getting drafted, you're only a center.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you don't play guard. We don't think you can move around. So you're limited being a center. So you get pigeonholed into that. And that's why Linderbaum drops because he's just a center. Same thing happens with Cam Juergens. If the majority of the teams have a good center, some have even 2, a good backup. So that limits the amount of spots. But I wouldn't be surprised if Denver takes Cam Juergens. That's a team that could use somebody like that. But he should go pretty quickly. I'd be surprised if he's still around midway through the second round
Well,
because of what he does athletically.
Well, then that fits perfectly with what I was going to ask, because coming up in predictions, I have a prop bet for Cam Jurgens' draft position. I set the number at 50.5.
Oh yeah, he'll go before that.
So
He's going before that.
So
Yeah. Look,
45.5.
The thing here's what's changed. This is what 5 years, 6 years now since they changed to this new format, and it gives teams an entire night, a whole day, and into the evening to relook at their board and reassess and see who slipped through and who didn't get drafted. Also, maybe probably learn some more stuff about medicals, because that happens a lot of times. They'll come out in the first round. You'll hear more about a guy. Some medical stuff will come out. A guy like Cam Jurgens, that's great for him, because when they redo their board, they're like, oh yeah, he fits perfectly here. So I think it helps a guy like him that ends up going. I'd say maybe if you're going to go over under 45, I think it would be a good number.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll adjust.
I think that'd be right about coming in. The number 45th drafted player in terms of the mock drafts was Sam Howell, the quarterback out of North Carolina. I would take Cam Jurgens over Sam Howell today, right now, because he's a mess. And if anybody's drafting Sam Howell to be a starter in the league, you're crazy. So I think Cam can be a starter in the league. I don't believe Sam Howell can. They're mocked about the same spot.
Hey, Michael, before I let you go, moving away from the draft, what did you think of the FanDuel odds for Nebraska in the Big Ten West?
That was kind of, not shocking, because they know there's a guy that I've been following for a number of years, a gambling guy, who goes every year to Vegas for the national championship. And all he does is he's there to bet immediately after the game on futures.
Mm-hmm.
And he said for years, they always put Nebraska's futures at an unreasonable spot, because they know they're going to take money on it. They know Nebraska fans are going to bet on Nebraska. They know it. And so they put them in that spot, whether it was Adrian Martinez for the Heisman, or 100-1 national championship for Nebraska a few years ago, or putting them now at number 2 in the West. They know they're going to, so they put them at a spot that's going to make them money. They know that. Nebraska's got a schedule that should have, how many times we said this? Shut up, Jed. 8 wins on it, right? Legitimately, you can make an argument for 8 wins. If they get to 6, though, everybody should be happy, right? Because they haven't made a bowl before.
Yeah.
So 7 is legitimate, I guess. All I want to do is have a season where I host Big Red Wrap Up, where we talk about more wins than we do losses, which has not happened yet. So that's my only wish. Can I get that to happen?
I don't know.
I would appreciate that. But the schedule, you look at the schedule and the way it's set up, God, it's set up with the 1AA programs or the FCS programs. It's set up where you are. How many road games are there? I just put together a story for somebody that asked me to write it for food reviews for road games. And Michigan, Purdue, obviously I didn't write about Ireland, but Michigan, Purdue, Iowa. What's the other one? I'm missing one. What's the other one?
Yeah, I was going to say, because they had 4 true road games. Yeah, what is the other one?
Is that it? Is it
No,
Ireland,
there's
Michigan,
4.
Purdue, and Iowa?
Michigan, Purdue, Iowa, and Rutgers.
And Rutgers, thank you. Yeah,
The Rutgers.
Piscataway and the Fat Sandwich. That's pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. So it sets up. I believe in Mickey. I said this at the Jet Award. I've been following Mickey since he was a senior in high school and I was a sophomore in high school. I believe in him. I think he can coach guys up. I know he can recruit. I believe in Mark Whipple. I've been betting on Mark Whipple since he was at UMass the first time. I'm a fan of his. Can they get out of the way of the head? Can the head coach get out of the way enough to allow them to win games? That's the question that I have. No offense to the guy I just called out, but that needs to happen. So
Michael Severe throwing out barbs at Jed.
That was funny.
It's like the old times again.
That was great.
I know every time somebody talks about how Nebraska should win or what they should win, I'm sure he's sitting there going, shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, enjoy the rest of the draft. Appreciate the time as always.
I appreciate you guys remembering me. I thought, the other day I heard your partner say that, I was out of the family. So I was like, damn, man, that's kind of brutal.
What?
But,
Did you say that?
I don't think I said, what? What the hell is this?
It was like, I sent you a text and you're like, well, I don't want to say his name and get in trouble or something. I didn't know what that meant. I was very confused.
Because someone's mom was getting brought up. That's why.
Do you know we have a hot moms contest
why
going
did I
on
even
right
say?
now.
No, we weren't talking about the moms. We were talking about serial killers. What are you talking about?
Oh.
I sent you the thing because my favorite serial killer is John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. No, I never know. Like for something, I guess I'll just start putting your name on Front Street.
Michael's got no filter. He don't care.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care about it. What's it gonna matter? Like I don't have a shrine to the dude, but he was pretty creative. I mean, watch his story. He's an interesting cat.
In another world, he's an amazing architect with that creativity.
Nobody said anything about a shrine, Michael.
Well, I know a certain guy who works in NRG who's all in the murder cult. So I wanted to get out there first and say I don't have a shrine.
Yeah, Connor Happer. He's a new employee. We like him, but yeah, the murder cult's with him a bit much.
Well, he's already run off Parker Gabriel.
That's true.
I don't trust Connor. I mean, who else is he going to run off from now? I mean,
yeah, what is it with this generation always running people off and stabbing them in the back? God dang.
Yeah, very true. Very
true. I gotta watch myself.
Oh.
All right, Michael Severe, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
Have
Michael.
a good weekend, guys.
You bet.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Michael joining us on the hotline this afternoon.
Fun.
Yes.
Good for him to be able to,
sit back and enjoy it.
Seriously.
It's kind of like when I, put the Twitter away and just watch the game.
Oh, the Rams games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to mess with, any of the noise out there and idiots.
Yeah.
You don't need that stuff.
Yeah. So instead, I just text John since he doesn't get on Twitter.
Well, yeah, but my phone's put away.
Oh, you literally put it away?
Well, I shut it off.
Wow.
It sits there on the table.
Do not
but
disturb option. You don't have to shut it off.
He's obviously addicted to it if he can't just have it sitting next to him the whole time. Hey, at least you acknowledge it, though.
No, it is. It's next to me. I just shut it off.
I put mine on do not disturb when a Formula One race is on. I don't shut it off all the way.
Oh, that's too bad. Now I know I can't just blow you.
Mom, stop calling me. Verstappen's going through a corner.
Well, I wouldn't even
have ice cream and we're going to the airport.
I wouldn't even be able to know my mom called because it's on do not
wow,
disturb.
calls don't
John.
get through do not
Well,
disturb.
I wouldn't.
No.
Wow.
Well, I wouldn't either because the phone's turned off.
There you go, man. Better hope that emergencies don't happen in either of your lives.
I'm in the house and the family's
What
at
if there was
home.
an emergency outside your home? What if I needed something? John, I need a place to stay tonight.
The answer would be no matter what. So it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I don't need you yoggers in my house running around. Oh, you have a place to run? No, we got no place to run. Wrigley's already worn a track out in the backyard.
John,
no places to run.
John, can I do stairs?
I would
do
never
stairs at your
do
house?
stairs in John's house. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, my house isn't a great house to do stairs because we don't have like
You're
a
split
long.
level, right?
Yeah, it's we don't have a long stair.
Okay.
Creighton holds off Xavier. They win at 8-7. And Shea Shanneman's pitching well today. Unfortunately, that solo home run is still holding up.
The offense died again.
Iowa 1-0 in the 7th.
It's dead, folks.
Well, Iowa does a pretty good pitching staff. That's all I'm saying. Iowa's got a pretty good pitching staff. But Nebraska's hanging in there. They still got a chance. Coming up next, it's predictions time on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
This won't be the first time you hear me say this year. This is the case for both Boston and New York. Get a real ballpark. I know you're revered in the Green Monster and the short porch and Yankee Stadium and all that stuff. Get a real ballpark. It should be more than 310 down the line. I shouldn't be able to hit a pop fly with a 25-mile-an-hour wind and it blow out of the ballpark. This isn't spring training. This isn't the minor leagues. Get a real ballpark.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Strong to severe storms possible tonight with damaging wind gusts, large size hail, and isolated tornado being the three major threats we will be tracking. Keep yourself weather aware. By tonight, we're looking at temperatures cooling into the lower 50s, only a high of 59 with mostly cloudy skies for your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. As far as wrecks go, a heads up a crash on westbound I-80 at 60th. Has the right shoulder blocked, and it's got traffic slowed down all the way back to 24th Street. Also, if you're east on I-80, delays starting at about 96th, going all the way to 60th. Slow going on westbound L Street around 90th. Delays on westbound Industrial Road starting at about 144th, going to 156th. And then traffic lights still malfunctioning at 204th and Harrison. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Nebraska Loves Public Schools.
Discover how one Nebraska school uses an outdoor classroom
to connect students to their culture and community in a new I Love Public Schools film. Watch online at iloveps.org.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
When you're a kid and it feels like no one is in your corner, it's a pretty tough place to be. And let's not forget the spikes in depression and anxiety from the pandemic. That's where Teammates can help. When kids have mentors through Teammates, they're more likely to feel engaged in school and more hopeful for the future. Just by simply being there, mentors can make students feel confident in their own skin, even when everything else seems to go wrong. Become a mentor and be there for a student by going to teammates.org. A message from JTech Construction, proud supporter of Teammates Mentoring.
Everyone knows Sol's pays top dollar for your gold, but Sol's pays cash on the spot for your precious metals too. Silver, gold, platinum, coins, bars. Who wants to wait to get paid? Get to Sol's Jewelry and Loan.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The way we run a program is tried and true. We know how to build programs.
On 1620 The Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for predictions.
Bet the under. Vikings and the under.
With each passing week, Nick proves to us that his championship from the last round was a fluke.
But still a champion.
Yeah, he's the Gene Chizik of predictions.
He is the Gene Chizik of predictions.
I am still your predictions champion.
Nick went 2-11 last week. Now,
call me Nebraska.
Neither Josh or I had a winning week either, but
still we weren't 2-11.
We weren't 2-11. So I lead Josh by 13, and Nick is 21 back already. And I mean, we're barely just underway.
Eesh.
Now, the good news, Nick, is there's a lot of time left
For you
which
to
means
be bad.
There's a lot of time for you to continue to lose.
Indeed.
I'm going to come back.
As we have said, there's only 2 NBA games unless the T-Wolves win tonight, and then they would play Sunday night, correct?
Sunday afternoon, 2:30.
Oh, I thought the Bucks Nets was like at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Is that not
Eastern
right?
time. So it's at
Oh,
noon.
okay.
But my guess is
Okay.
if there's no game 7, Bucks Celtics will slide on into 2:30. That'd be my guess.
Okay. Yeah. The Grizzlies trying to close them out. 1.5 point favorites at the T-Wolves. I'm not going to overthink this one. Team Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm going to go with another road favorite, which can certainly come back to bite you. But we've seen these road teams close out in these games the last 2 nights. Give me Grizzlies.
The wrong team is favored.
Whoa!
Give me the T-Wolves.
So we're getting game 7 on Sunday. By the way, Creighton just won 8-7.
Oh, I said that last segment.
Yeah, Josh, don't you ever listen to our show?
Damn it.
Bucks at Celtics game 1 on Sunday afternoon. Bucks +5. Bucks +5.
I don't want to say that the wrong team is favored, so I'm not going to say it, even though I just said it. I'm going to go with the Bucks +5. I do think that they can win this game, but I'm going to go with them +5.
I want the Celtics.
Oh, you said it.
He's been saying it correctly for a while, yeah. Because one of our listeners
bad.
pointed out that he actually was wrong.
It's not that I was even wrong. We were just arguing in circles.
I thought Celtic was technically correct.
No, there was a listener who reached out and said that's not even technically. I don't even know. There was a link.
It was a really dumb argument.
Yeah, I guess so.
What are you going with?
The Celtics.
All right.
Yankees and Royals pick the series. Best of 3.
Yankees 2-1.
Give me the Royals 2-1.
Whoa!
Let's go, Rose. And Bobby Witt hits a home run this weekend.
Oh.
Put it on the list.
Get the X.
His first one.
I'll go Yanks 2-1. Astros, Blue Jays, best of 3.
Speaking of the Blue Jays, they won.
Creighton's
yes,
playing
yes.
the Astros.
Give me the Blue Jays in a sweeper.
Oh, yeah, you typed this wrong, John. It is Blue Jays.
Well,
not Blue Jays. It is Blue Jays.
Who cares? They're Canadians.
Who did you say?
I'll take the Canadians in a sweep.
I'll go with them 2-1.
I want the Astros 2-1.
All right. Let's see. Oh, of course, the main event this week. NASCAR's at Dover.
The Monster.
The
The
Monster
main
Mile.
event?
Yeah, the main event.
Dover's cool.
It is. It's a
Hardly newer.
It's a tough little track.
I've seen it in real life.
You've seen Dover in real life?
Yes, drove past Dover in real life. That's all I got.
I will go with Kyle Larson. I will go with Alex Bowman. And
Zach Bowman.
Let's. You know what? I'm going to keep. I'm just going to keep putting old Tyler Reddick in there. He is going to win a race this year. Tyler Reddick.
Nick
Harvick, Kyle Busch, and my boy Bubba.
Where is Bubba? Bubba has long odds every week.
Yeah,
he sure does.
Yeah, Bubba's a bad pick unless it's a Talladega last week's not a bad pick.
I have faith in Bubba.
Bubba's a bad pick.
I'm going to go with the right column this time. Give me Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. Oh, no, not Joey. Damn it.
Big Logano guy.
Well, I walked into it, I guess.
What? Oh, I was going to say watch Joey win. And
Yeah. No, I'll go. I'll stick with him.
We got Golf.
Hell yeah, we do, John.
Josh,
it says Goff, actually,
because that's how it's actually. That's the original name of the sport.
Oh,
golf.
is it? That's what they were doing in Scotland?
That's what the Scots call it.
Oh,
golf.
let's play some golf, laddie.
Let's see. Let's go with your John ram it down your throat.
Whoa, he's up right now. He's 12 under through 15.
Let's take Stuart Smalley. And
Stuart Smalley.
Yeah, Smalley right there. Stuart Smalley.
It's Alex.
Whatever. And in honor of Ozark starting tonight, Marty Bird.
Wow, so you're just literally just going with the top 3.
You damn right.
Wow, you idiot. I'm going to go with John Rahm as well, though.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, can't.
And I'll take Nicholas and Weisskopf.
I'll go with Adam Long. And I like the Marty Bird. I'll go with Jonathan Bird as well in the honor of Ozark, the final episodes.
I want Rom, then I want Champ because it's in his name, and then I want Nah.
Kevin Na. Wow, look at that odds. Whew, Nick's going with a long shot.
All right, enough of this stuff. We got to talk about the best soccer in the world. There's only one place in the world where the best soccer in the world can be found. That's in Spain, the home of La Liga.
Good Lord.
We got Ford Granada versus Celta Vigo Mortensen. Josh?
Viggo Mortensen, he's an actor.
Mhm.
He's in a movie called The Road. I'm going to be reading the book, The Road, this summer.
Nerd.
Give me Vigo.
You just have it already planned for this summer?
Well, I'm gonna. You can make fun of me all you want.
He's probably got a spreadsheet that shows, and this is it.
I do have a list of
and
books
this-
to read.
And this book will.
I'm going to book club. It's my pick for July. No, for July, and I've made my pick.
I'm not making fun. I just didn't know it was scheduled that far out.
Hell yeah, I have the book. I'm ready to go for July.
Well done. Give me Granada. Never forget.
Never forget.
My grandparents drove a Ford Granada.
Remember?
And I
Was it
used
the
to-
Lippincotts?
And
Nice. Good reference.
Both my
Nice.
grandparents drove Fords, though we drove Chevys. So
Because
it was always fun to make fun of them, because of the fact they were driving Fords. And Grandpa, is your Ford broke down yet?
Did the black sheep of the family drive a Dodge?
Found on road dead.
Nice.
That's what Ford stands for, John.
Very good.
Nice.
There's another one too, but I can't say it
We
on the air.
can't say that on here.
No. All right. Well, Michael gave us the prop.
So we're going to update this.
Yeah. Cam Jurgens draft position over under 45.5. Under, of course, means he will be drafted prior to pick 45 or 45.5.
Over.
You're
A
going,
slight over.
okay.
Teensy weensy bit.
I'm going over too.
Nick?
Give me the under.
Wow, so we're all just crapping on Michael except for Nick. Good on you, Nick.
Jojo Doman.
Yeah.
His draft pick, I'm going to go pick 111.5.
So we're talking fourth round now. That'd be in the fourth round?
Would it be?
Like just right there at the start of the fourth round?
Yes, it'd be pick 6.
Okay.
Pick 111 is 6th pick of the 4th round. I'm going under.
You think he's a third round guy? Or early fourth? I'll go under.
Give me the over.
Okay.
Number of Huskers drafted 4.5.
I'm going under. I've thought 4. I've thought 4 this whole time.
I want the under also.
That's a sweep.
Okay.
And Malik Willis, the quarterback from Liberty. This is the line straight off the FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code 1620. 35.5.
Nick?
Over or under?
Over.
I mean, so you're looking at this is great because only a few teams. This is 3 teams, right? This is the Bucks, the Vikings, or the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
That's who this would be.
Unless someone...
35.5?
Yep.
Under. I'm going to say 35. I'm going to say Tennessee.
I'm going to go over.
Okay.
Total wins this weekend. Now we have 1 in the book already. Creighton has 1. Nebraska currently down 1-0. Omaha is at Penn State this weekend.
That's random.
Total number of wins between those 3 baseball teams, 4.5. 1's already in the book. And by the way, if a weather knocks out a game,
you lose out on the opportunity for a win.
Yep.
I'm going to go under.
Under.
Did you think you were going to steal one there?
No,
Did you
but
think we were
man,
gonna be the
when I thought
positive
about
boys?
this line, I thought, damn, I may have made this.
It's hard.
I mean, you really could use Creighton to sweep, and then that means you just need a win from each of the other 2. I do think Nebraska gets 1 this weekend at least. What the hell? Over.
All right.
And
Woo.
finally, behind the Dover race, the main event.
This is the main event.
O'Shawn Mathis. Does he choose Nebraska or does he choose Texas? By the way, Mike Schaefer, who just a couple of days ago on this program poo-pooed the idea that O'Shawn Mathis was going to Nebraska, has now entered a crystal ball on his site, 24/7 Sports, for Nebraska.
He has indeed, and I'm looking right now at 24/7. He is the only person that has him going to Nebraska. Now, that said, all of the other predictions came in on January 12th, and they
when he first jumped in.
So, Nick?
Texas.
You want me to go?
Well, I'm playing poker with Josh here.
I can't help but think that this is a Darnay Holmes situation where there's all this info that's coming in right now, and it's very pro-Nebraska. But in the end, he's going to pick Texas, and we're going to be like, why did we buy into the info? I'm going to be a pessimistic boy, and I'm going to say that he sticks with Texas, that they make him an offer he can't refuse. There's
another horse?
There's a horse head in his.
Are there going to be any horses left for next weekend?
Herbie's head is in his bed. And he's like, oh my gosh.
The Volkswagen?
No, the mascot, Nick. Herbie Husker.
I had already typed in my answer.
Yeah.
And that answer was Texas. And now I'm almost tempted to see if I can steal a point.
It's a smart play.
Tomorrow and go with the momentum. Hell, I got a big lead anyway. Nebraska it is.
GBR. Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about a hype monster. If that happens.
Don't you let me down, O'Shawn. Don't you let me down.
Don't let me down.
Don't let me down.
What if he ends up going to like Fordham or something?
Now that would be legitimately hysterical. That'd be like when the Patriots drafted that guy.
Yes,
That would be awesome.
All right, we'll come back and do a truncated version of Unsportsmanlike Content. And a reminder that the Storm Chasers are giving you a chance to win a great fan experience. 4 tickets good for any game, merchandise packs, bobblehead, stadium tour conducted by the president.
Oh, baby.
And a chance to throw out the first pitch. Go to 1620thezone.com and get yourself registered today.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharpen betting in the morning.
Ted Ginn Jr. is along with Johnny Rogers, Mike Rozier. Johnny, slide in here. First, let's talk about the winner real quick, who unfortunately getting ready for the draft isn't able to be here. But tell us about Marcus Jones.
Well, Marcus got more moves than Allied Van Lines. I tell you, he's got 9 returns for touchdowns. I thought I was reading something off the chain there when I first noticed that, but he's remarkably good.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 1 day left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work toward your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 1 day left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 1 day left.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer with Canoyer Garden Center. The beauty and color of spring is in our greenhouse, featuring thousands of gorgeous hanging baskets and hundreds of varieties of Canoyer grown product. Come in and let our family help you find what you are looking for. Whether it's home decor, annuals, perennials, shrubs, tropicals, or vegetables, we have it all. Canoyer Garden Center between Highway 370 and Cornhusker on 66th Street in Papillion. Open daily, 9 to 7.
At Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Baker's. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Baker's app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
It's the big $10 sale, so mix and match and get 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 for $10 with your card. So many great deals. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. While starting my first of 5 successful businesses, I foolishly did my own accounting. I stuck the more difficult tax forms in a drawer for later, which caused the tax man to cometh. That little mistake took an entire team of accountants weeks to prevent the tax man from clubbing me. Moral of this story? Use Patriot's accounting software because it's easy, and tell your accountant to use the same accounting software you use. Then, if the tax man cometh, you'll be the one holding the club. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
OSI Oakland Foods wants you. OSI Oakland offers competitive pay, benefits, including vacation, medical, dental, vision, 401k, a safe work environment, a $1,500 sign-on bonus, a $1,500 referral bonus, and there's an attendance incentive. OSI offers transportation to and from their plant from Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Atlantic. OSI Oakland is hiring for all shifts, including third shift maintenance at up to $25 an hour and production up to $20 an hour. Apply at osigroup.com/careers or at their plant Monday through Friday for on-the-spot interviews. OSI Oakland is an equal opportunity employer. Veterans welcome.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
All right. Real quick version here before we get to predictions and wrap up the week here on the program.
Hello.
Hi.
Chris Paul did not miss a single shot last night, going 14-14 from the field, including 1-on-1 from 3 and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He added 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and only 3 turnovers. This probably wasn't the best individual performance of all time. So what was it?
Well, basketball performance. What am I supposed to rank this thing all time?
All time, John. 80th best
probably ever? The 64th best.
What would you have at 63?
When Zeke McGillicuddy scored 30 for the Syracuse Nationals in the 51 NBA
This doesn't
playoffs.
even sound real.
No, this is rather impressive.
Was that when it was still cage ball?
14 for 14 from the field. Pretty good.
Yeah, ridiculous. And the last shot that he made, I don't know if you saw it. I thought that he was going to miss it just because of the way that it was bouncing around. Really cool. No layups, and he did, as Nick said, he did have a 3. I mean, to do so in a closeout game on the road, impressive.
By the way, Iowa has closed it out. 2-hit shutout from Adam Mazur. Iowa 1, Huskers nothing. And guess who hit the home run that gave Iowa the lone run of the game?
Who was it? Was it Meat Patty?
It was.
Woo!
How about
Go Meat Patty?
This game lasted 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yes.
Good on them to beat the weather, man.
Guess who's the happiest guy in America right now? Kevin Francis Kugler, who called this game today for BTN Plus.
Did he really?
At least he was on the sheet. I'm assuming he did.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Chris Paul, with the Suns and Mavs winning last night, it means they'll meet in round 2 of the playoffs next week. How do you two like that?
I like it very much, Nick. I think it'll be a good series. I'm with Kent. I think that the Suns are going to get the victory. I do think that we could see this one go to 6, if not 7. I hope that a few more days off, the series not starting until Monday, will allow everyone to get fresh. And I wonder if that's the case, if we could see Luka putting up numbers that he has in the last 2 playoffs when he was averaging well north of 30 points per game.
Man, this I want to take the Mavs.
Yeah.
Especially if there's some time off. Maybe get healthy, get fixed up.
Yeah, you've been doubting the Suns all playoffs.
Well,
On
ever
the
since they let
fake
me down,
news.
they were supposed to go 16-0, and then
Yeah.
they didn't do that.
Sad.
It's going to be a rather entertaining series, in
yes.
my opinion. The Suns, if I had to do the confident selection, I'd go Suns like 60%. But I think the Mavs have a decent chance in this one.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? A.J. Brown is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Josh,
Nick,
are you concerned about this?
Now, initially I was, but I've had some friends of the program reach out to me, like Jed, who says, I'm very happy to get a family member on the Titans and not pay an often injured player $25 million a year. And then he added, plus Jalen Hurts is still throwing him the football. So, no, I was a little skittish last night. Now I'm feeling okay. Only 5 touchdowns last year. Maybe he'll suck.
It is an interesting pickup, but
Yes.
it does put a little more on Jalen Hurts to step up his game.
Make or break year for Mr. Hurts.
You can have great wide receivers, but if you don't have a great quarterback, it really doesn't matter.
Aaron Rodgers says he was surprised by the Packers trading away Devontae Adams, but at the same time was not surprised or upset that the Packers didn't use one of their first 2-round picks on a wideout. Has Rodgers turned over a new leaf?
Boy, this is a different Aaron Rodgers. Last year, it would have been, oh, they didn't pick me wide receiver. I'm getting screwed. And blah, blah. Now, all of a sudden, he's happy with it. And I agree with a lot of the experts, on the draft. The Packers, the wide receivers that had already been taken, those were the top of the class. And then there's a gap before you start to hit the next group of guys, which we should see start coming off the board pretty soon. But when you look at the fact that the Packers went out and got 2 proven defensive players from Georgia to beef up a defense that when it came down to crunch time last year in the NFC playoffs could not stop Frisco on the ground. They got better on defense, and they can still go out and get a wide receiver in the later rounds. I think it was a good draft, and I'm glad to see that Aaron Rodgers has finally matured.
Yeah, good for him. I'm with you, though, on basically everything you just said, especially about wide receiver. You don't have to get anybody in the first round. There will be other receivers later on. This is a team, given how they lost. You can make an argument that they need defense. And I know that last year wasn't – look, the offense didn't score enough points, and then the special teams completely let them down on that blocked punt. But, maybe he just wanted to chill out for a night. Maybe he just wanted to vibe out, as some would say.
I don't know if Aaron Rodgers vibes.
You don't think he does?
We don't vibe the same way.
Not a vibe guy?
James Corden is leaving the Late Late Show next year. Sad times?
Remember, John, in the old days, and by old days, I mean like not that long ago, when every single piece of late night news had bevies of headlines and all sorts of takes. Just doesn't seem to happen anymore. I read the story that I actually read today about him leaving mentioned that maybe Jimmy Kimmel will be getting out of the game shortly as well. I'll be honest, I never watched this show. I've seen clips of like the car karaoke.
He does the car karaoke.
The karaoke in
which
the
is
car.
kind of funny.
I've seen some of that.
But I have never seen his show live or on the air live. I don't watch any of that stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
Late night TV, it's just.
If I see an interview with somebody that I really like,
game.
I'll occasionally watch it. But even then, I used to love late night show. But now there's just so many options. When I was growing up in high school, there weren't that many options.
It's called MLB TV.
Definitely not
West Coast baseball.
Definitely not.
I've seen tweets from people saying they'd be at live recordings, and during breaks, he'd just be like, "Hey, shut up."
Or in all seriousness, and I don't know what their ratings are. You know what the better late night TV option is for live TV this time of year? It's called Inside the NBA.
Look at you. Speaking of turning over a new leaf like Aaron Rodgers, NBA boy.
Yeah, but Inside the NBA, you don't have to be a basketball fan to enjoy that show.
That's true. They're very funny.
Or you could watch something on Netflix, like the final season of Ozark out now, but will you be able to avoid spoilers?
I'm worried that I'm not.
Well, now you're wishing it into existence.
No, I'm not wishing it into existence, but I do wish that this were like, the Disney series where they put them out 1 week at a time.
Isn't it funny how when Netflix first did this, we're like, this is awesome. And now we're like, well, can you pump the brakes on all of them at once? I like them parsed out over weeks. It's way better. I like having the build-up to
I like
it.
the anticipation, like with Better Call Saul.
I don't have as much time as I used to. Busy.
Well, maybe you can, take your little phone and your selfie stick while you're on your jog on Sunday.
Oh, and just listen to it.
And just watch it.
Oh,
no,
wow.
You'll have the little selfie stick.
You'll
hold it and your head will be bouncing up and down. And you won't be able to see a thing.
It'd be good for my pace. That would really be good.
Mount the phone on Mr. Banks. Have him walk in front of you.
Old Ruth gets it going for you? You see Ruth and all of a sudden your adrenaline starts.
No,
Ruth, I'm a big fan.
It'd be bad. I'd be slow. I'd be like, look like you out there.
Oh, I'm very
20-minute miles.
I'm very fast.
Are you?
Many are saying.
Come and run with me. Let's do this. I'm sure I could get you in.
Nope.
Okay.
Not interested. I don't believe in blocking traffic. Bet of the day. And we finish the week next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Start your car buying journey today at Woodhouse Ford and experience the difference. Discover a new era in the 2022 Ford Edge. The seamless integration of power, performance, and technology allows you to feel confident on the road. Place a custom order today and design an Edge that meets the demands of your lifestyle. Plus, shop online anytime at woodhouseford.com or visit us in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
Hi, this is Dave Austed from Austed's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Austed's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Austed's.
Frank's Pizzeria has a new location. Just like their original location at 132nd and West Dodge, their new location at 72nd and Q is making the same delicious New York pizza. At Frank's Pizzeria, they make their dough fresh every day and top it with handmade sauce, fresh ingredients, and top-shelf buffalo mozzarella cheese. They even make their own Italian sausage. Wash it down with a cold beer and awesomeness ensues. Frank's Pizzeria for nearly 20 years at 132nd and West Dodge. And now, check out their new location at 72nd and Q.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Experience every pitch, run, and legendary play. Your home for Royals baseball in Omaha. 1620 The Zone.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
And I didn't see any pelvic thrusts. I don't see any pelvic thrusts either. I don't see anything sexual in nature.
On 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you? Now, it's time for the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Bet of the Day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding me.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
Folks, last night we had winners, and we're finding out if we had...
I know the Cardinals have gotten 5 runs early.
More winners.
Oh, and of course they never show the damn score.
What are you looking at?
Well, all I do is
Google and then go to the game.
8-3. Yeah, I got it overhit.
Wow, winners. So John had the over in his baseball game. That was a nice plus 100. I did a parlay with the Sixers and the Mavs both to cover the 1 point. They did that, and then Nick had the Braves on the money line in Major League Baseball. So we all were able to get a victory. I'm going to go with one of the ones that we were actually just discussing in predictions not too long ago. Give me on Sunday afternoon the Bucks +5 minus 114.
Tonight, Dodgers, Giants, and Cubs
+343.
Wow, that's a parlay. Nick?
I'm in a drafting mood. Give me Logan Hall -600 for the number 33 overall pick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
What was it, -600?
Yep.
Man, Nick, I
-600?
Yep.
I'm rooting for you.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's the bet of the day.
Iowa. Now you made me nervous.
I mean, I wouldn't do a -600 bet like for a draft pick, but you already did it. Good luck.
We'll figure it out.
Good luck to you.
It's fine.
All right, so you got your draft tonight.
Mm-hmm.
A smattering of NBA playoffs. Big series for Nebraska. They can try to bounce back. I know they lost today 1-0, but tomorrow's game, I am guaranteeing a win because I am undefeated when I'm calling a game on television in that ballpark.
How long has it been?
Well, it's like 4 years, but
Dang.
it doesn't matter.
Dang.
Oh, and some guy's announcing a decision at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Do you know where it's happening? Is it going to be on Twitter? I mean, everyone will tweet about it.
Oh, yeah.
We will not be tweeting about it.
No, I'll be in the middle of a baseball game.
Yeah, I'm not going to tweet about it.
So
there you
yes,
go.
O'Shawn Mathis is apparently doing this at 3 o'clock
Tomorrow.
Indeed. And I'm sure we will have plenty of reaction.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see.
It'll be big O'Shawn overreaction on Monday.
See if anybody else goes into the portal.
That's true. There may be others that enter the portal between
Mm-hmm.
now and then because the deadline is midnight on Sunday into Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be some changes. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, enjoy the rest of your whole weekend.
Yeah.
Not just the rest of it, but the whole of it.
I'll be in your city on Sunday.
Oh, and then on the way back, you'll hit the rally. It'll be perfect.
Oh, that's
how convenient.
What
for you.
time is that at? Oh, I hope it's later. No, I'll be gone. It's an afternoon rally. I think I'll be gone in the morning. I'll be coming back to Omaha before lunch.
Well, yeah, but you'll be stopping and watching and enjoying it.
I will absolutely not be stopping.
See you on Monday.